Yo, what's good with the people? What's good with my people? What's good with the family? I know y'all seen these fights last night, man. Know we seen these fights. I know y'all seen them. Cause I seen them. My bro D man, what's good with you, bro? How you feeling? Appreciate you. Black Diamond was good, Queen. Appreciate you. My bro Mike Biggs, what's going on with you, bro? Be sure to smash. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Smash the like button for your boy. MP, what's good, bro? How you feeling? My bro Kano was good, man. You enjoy your day at work, kick your feet up and relax. You know, my bro D Free, TWT in this thing. You know, y'all know we gonna get into it, man. We seen some good fights yesterday. I think the whole card was decent. Matter of fact, I think this was a low key. This was might have been one of the zone best cards they had in a while. What y'all think? I think so. I definitely think so. Hey, I'm here. The life of the chat is here. You're dang on nut is what you is. You's a nut. You's a nut. Yeah, man. We seen some good action, man. We seen some real good action yesterday. I know I did. Seeing who I want to start with. I want to start with my Jersey brethren. My Jersey brethren. My bad, y'all. I don't mean to be stuttering. Raymond Ford looked good. What y'all think about Raymond Ford last night, man? He fought Richard Medina. He beat him convincingly. He damn near won every round, if not every round. My bro Flossie was good with you, bro. Appreciate you. How y'all feeling, man? Y'all smash the like button for your boy, man. What y'all think of Ray Ford last night? I think he put on for Jersey and Camden, man. He showed his ass last night. And just we was talking about it earlier. You know, his last two fights was a little. Look like he was kind of going through the motions a little bit with his last couple fights. I think with this one right here, I think he redeemed himself. You know what I'm saying? He came in at 11-0-1. And, his opponent was 13-0 with 7 knockouts. And I think Raymond Ford beat him handily, man. He just was like a step and a half or two ahead of Medina the whole night. These people, man. Yo, is he out of his mind? Why is he DMing me like that when I'm about to curse him out? My bad, y'all. He acting crazy. Don't send me all these photos like that and we don't even know each other. I'm not buying no gloves. Yo, do people be doing that? People be inboxing me, like showing me gloves and shit. I'm not a boxer, bro. Pay attention. That's how I know people don't be paying attention. Monze was good, bro. How you? What's the proper pronunciation for that? I don't like butchering people's names. I call you 3 times. Look, y'all keep hearing my phone go off. This is a complete stranger sending me mad photos of boxing gloves and shit like I box. That's by far the most rudest shit I ever seen somebody do, yo. He sent me about 15 pictures, yo. He really gonna keep going. He sent another one. I'm gonna call him out. Nah, I'm just playing. Zai or Zay? Man, what the hell? Yeah, he tearing me up. He sent me mad at them joints, bro. And I ain't no disrespect. Like his name Shiraz. So you already know how he coming. He probably went and stole them pictures off somebody. He probably went and stole them pictures off somebody's profile and hit me up. Turn my note. I leave them on so when it's an important one, I can respond to people accordingly. I like to respond to people like, in a timely manner for the most part. That's why I leave them on, because people be sending me shit that actually matter, unlike what this dude is doing. No disrespect to him. Jose was good, bro. It was good. It was good, bro. Yeah. He out of pocket, man. He out of pocket, Zay. He out of pocket, bro. Quee was good, sis. Hell of a show yesterday. You did your thing. Did a hell of a job. The entire show, too, by the way, on both segments, the boxing and the real life stuff. You did your thing. Block them. I barely block people. I only block people if they disrespectful. He just being a little rude because he don't know no better. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes it's better not to respond to them. Where I get what he's trying to do, but since I've been doing this shit this 6 months, I had random people hit me up like trying to sell me shit. If they ain't trying to get me like to get some type of logo or design, then they trying to get me to buy boxing gloves. I keep telling these people I don't box. I tell him I'm not a boxer. I'm not a trainer. I'm somebody that's passionate about boxing. I love boxing, man. If you want to talk boxing, we could do that. I don't mean to take you off the subject, but I got a question. I want to pick your brain about out of the twins that's in boxing. What do you think? The best, Jamal or Jamel? No, yeah, hey, look, Mayo, you already know you're a consistent supporter. All conversations, all things boxing is welcome, bro. We gonna cook. That's what it's here for, man. Whatever questions y'all got, feel free to chime in. No problem, Queen, man. You did your thing. You gotta give the queens they flowers and their crowns while they deserve it, man. You did your thing yesterday, for real. But who's the better one out of the? Who I think the better one? Jamel fought the better competition. You know what I'm saying? Their situations are different for them to be twins. Like you got the younger one in Jamel. He in a division where people are fighting each other. You get what I'm saying? So he not faced with the same obstacles and criticism that his older brother is faced with because he got people at 160 not wanting to get in there. You see what I'm saying? Whereas 54, them dudes mixing it up. And with that being said, like, 60, you can't make nobody get in there with you. But instead of people looking at it for what it actually is, they treating Big Charlo, which is Maul Charlo, like he's some type of duck or something. And that's just not the case. You got people really not wanting to challenge themselves. They don't want no smoke. They ain't trying to get in there. Appreciate all y'all in the building, man. All the family in here. Yeah, Quee did a hell of a job, man. Yeah. I'm telling you, and why you always gonna be good? Because you articulate. You know what I'm saying? You're a real person with real like conversation to offer. And then you did the sports thing by yourself and you did your damn thing. Hell nah, you ain't gotta stress because the family gonna be in the building. We rocking right with you. Yeah, definitely. You and Quee gonna do that. Yeah, I can do that. Yes, the show was on point like a motherfucker. But yeah, Mayo, Maul Charlo is just in a different situation where motherfuckers not fighting each other. And just to be fair, I don't think he do himself any favors when he feed into the David Benavidez chatter so much, because just like anybody, if you're gonna speak on somebody enough, people are gonna ask for you to fight that dude, whether he a division up or not. Especially when you Charlo, you don't have that luxury to talk about fighting somebody and not do it. They're gonna be on your ass about it. Well, until then, man, we here with you and you doing your thing. Trust me. Yes, always. But yeah, man, and Mel Charlo, you see how they're treated. Within days, that dude was already issued a mandatory. Within a couple days, he already had a mandatory to fulfill. And then when it got down to about 20 days with that mandatory, they issued him another mandatory. I forget the dude name another dude that they said that mandatory is supposed to be like they're saying that Mel Charlo already basically signed off on fighting the other guy. I'm mad that I can't get his name right now, man. Damn, I'm mad. But they found another dude for him to fight, somebody that I'm not too familiar with. But my point is, you see how they're treated. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that luxury, man. Canelo ain't had a mandatory obligation in over a year. Look how long ago he beat Canelo, and look what he doing. He just doing whatever the hell he want. You got it, Queek. We here with you 100%. Bruce Gas, OG, salute. Appreciate you for coming through. How you feeling? Yeah, that mandatory was quick. I wonder why. Yeah, right. Because they don't got the complexion for the protection. That's a quote I stole from Dante's Boxing Nation, y'all. So when y'all hear me say that, I got that from Dante. They don't have the complexion for the protection at all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I appreciate all the kings and queens coming through to talk some boxing with your boy. Yeah, but as far as who better, the younger brother definitely fought the better competition. He got the better resume, and for bro to be able to catch up to him, he gonna have to put some names on his resume, man, some quality names too. And I think for Jamal Charlo, realistically, man, he's a big dude. I don't think 68 is something. I think 68 is something he should look forward to look to doing. I think he should jump up to 68, yo. Because I believe he'll be able to get some fights up there, and he don't want to spend too long at 160, facing insignificant opponents. Like he don't need that. That's not doing nothing for his career. He gonna just continue to get criticized. I don't know how much he cared personally, but I mean, the criticism, he gonna continue to receive that criticism until he fight somebody that they truly think that's worthy of a challenge. You know what I'm saying? And we know Triple G could have been trying to fight. He don't want to do it. The other dudes just don't want to do it. Triple G holding up. Now they're allowing Triple G to go fight Canelo. So now he has belts at 60. So he get to hold up that division to go to 68 where he never was and give us a fight we truly don't want to see. G5, my brother, my family. What's good with you, bro? Appreciate you for sliding through. And salute to you for becoming a member, you know what I mean? Becoming a family 2-3 times over. Yes, sir, man. TWT business, the winning team is in here, man. So particularly when it comes to those dudes, that's just where they at right now. Mel is in a better position just in terms of competition and having better available fights to him. Whereas it seemed like the people at 54, like I said, they're just more willing to fight each other. The top dogs are more willing to engage. Whereas 60, when you think about it, 60, they treat 60 like the only one there is Maul Charlo. And he ain't fighting nobody. No, nobody is fighting nobody. It's similar to 60 is similar to what they're doing at 35. They're not fighting each other, but only one of the fighters or two of the fighters, maybe a couple of the fighters are getting criticized for it. They're not calling it on both sides. Nobody, the top of the top at 35 is not fighting. The top of the top at 60 is not fighting. 68 acting crazy. So it's like I think Maul just needed Demetrius Bright, my bro. Salute to you. Appreciate you for sliding through. I think he just need to move up, and I think it's better fights for him there. GGG looks 50. He definitely G40, Jose. That's what I call him, G40, as he 40. But I will say this, man. When it comes to that matchup, I think. Now this is just my opinion. I could be dead wrong, but I think this fight could end up playing out and being a little more competitive than what people think. Reason being is, we in boxing, you go off people's last performances. You know what I'm saying? And if we're going off Triple G last performance and Canelo last performance, neither one of them looked too impressive. Triple G got the win. He got the knockout win, but he was hurt to the body in the fight. He just didn't look dominant. Like, you can tell that he lost a step or two. Father Time knocking at his door. You know what I mean? Father Time might got 1 foot in on his door and 1 foot out. Seriously. And he just didn't look dominant. And I felt like for him to have as many fights as he had, all that experience, he got the Olympic background and pedigree, I think the silver medal. He just didn't look dominant for to be fighting somebody with 18 pro fights. Dig what I'm saying? Murata was 16-2. I just wasn't a quality. I don't want to knock him as an opponent. It's an okay fight, but at the caliber that Triple G supposed to be operating at, he's supposed to be fighting nothing but the best of the best each time out. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not what he's doing. Outside of Canelo, he don't really have no real notable names on his resume, and he lost that fight anyway. They took the first one from him, in my opinion. I believe Triple G won that first fight between him and Canelo. I believe Canelo moved too much in that fight to win it. He was way too defensive, and he was way too worried about Triple G power, and it showed. Now, in the rematch, all the credit to Canelo. He took the fight right to him. You know what I'm saying? The same way he walked up to him in the face-off aggressive is the same way he was when he approached him in the ring. And as a result, he was able to pull off a win. It was still competitive and close, but nonetheless, it was a fight that Canelo definitely won. Father Time, yeah. And we know two things that's undefeated in boxing. I always say this on this channel is Father Time and inactivity. Now, fortunately for Triple G, it ain't inactivity that he got to worry about, but I think Father Time is even a bigger factor than inactivity. You know what I'm saying? With inactivity, you can come in there, maybe your timing be off a little bit, your punch placement, you know what I mean? Till you get your rhythm down packed after a few rounds, then you can get your shit together. Whereas if Father Time is on your back, it ain't too much you can do. It's going to be very hard to turn back the clock and become the younger version of himself. It's much harder to do that. So I think what I'm basically saying is it's harder to deal with Father Time than it is with inactivity. Fighters deal with inactivity all the time, and you see Spence for for a perfect example. Like he one of them rare breeds. A layoff, all layoffs ain't created equal, depending on what level of fighter you are. When you are Errol Spence, you know, you could come back and your layoff and get a stoppage after 17 months with your timing and, you know, your rhythm being slightly off point. But you see what I'm saying? You see how he was able to adjust and shake off inactivity that he had, you know what I mean, from the setback with the torn retina. Whereas where these fighters, when you see them age, it's like it's tough for them to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you in there with a much younger fighter. Yes, you're right, Quee. I promise you're right. Now I understand me with that comment, Quee. I understand why I used to watch movies and shit when people had to perform or speak in front of a crowd. Somebody give them a shot real quick. They won't get them drunk, but they're like mellow them out. That should make a world of difference. A world of difference. The caliber that Canelo is supposed to be at. He's supposed to be fighting the absolute best, Jose, especially him being an undisputed champion. And like I said, when it comes to these pay-per-view stars that they're trying to create and manufacture, what these fighters need to understand is just because you put your time in as a fighter doesn't give you the right to do and pick any fights that you want. Now, if that's something that you want to do, if you feel like you got the right to just pick whatever fight you want and fight whoever you want to fight, then understand that's going to come with criticism, and people might start not supporting your fights, might start streaming your fights instead of buying them. And that's just what Canelo need to understand. And it's not fully his fault. You got to blame its large part to the people that push him and promote him. Like, they kiss his ass. Like, you got people really coming out. And I blame some of the fighters too, because you got some of his peers coming out saying he earned the right to do whatever he wants. No, the fuck he hasn't. You don't earn the right because you had a bunch of fights or you had 61 pro fights. Now you get to say, you know what, I could fight whoever I want. Nah, this is still a business. And Canelo, if anybody knows that, it should be him. Like, you got to give people something they want to see, or they're not going to support it. And that's just where I'm at when it comes to him. So he at the absolute top of the top, but he's not treating it as such. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, he irresponsibly in front of a crowd of people at a post-fight presser told the world that Demetrius Andre fight with nobody and he's a horrible fighter. But at the same time, you can't name nobody on your resume that hands down would be him right now or even back then. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, we got a lot of like mind games and bullshit going on when it comes to Canelo. A lot of manufactured greatness and so-called greatness and shit like that. My thing is why GGG and Loma, as a part of any conversations, open the gate and let them go out to the pasture. We don't need them anymore. Hey, quick. And you know why? Now, just to like, you know, add to your point, because people might not understand where that comes from. We didn't start feeling this way out of nowhere. She's a boxing supporter, a true boxing supporter. She got the right to feel like that because she's basing that off what he's given us. We're the consumer. If you're going to continue to give the consumer bullshit, are you going to pay for it? Like I said, you go out to a restaurant, if you get your food and that's not what you order, are you going to pay for it? Are you going to pay for it if your shit get there and it's not what you asked for? It's the same thing with boxing. Like, and it's even worse because just look at boxing and ordering a pay-per-view fight, like ordering one expensive ass meal for yourself. You see what I'm saying? And I know y'all could agree, if the quality is worth the price, you don't even care that you paid it. You cool because you got what you paid for. But in his case, he giving us mediocre and subpar fights and then asking people to pay for it. Damn near telling you at this point to pay for it because he earned the right to do what he want. Bullshit. He's a duck. Come on. Yeah, you know, I know you know, Jose. And I hate to use that word, but when it fit, hey man, we got to call a spade a spade. This dude, if they don't want to say flat out ducking, then he's definitely avoiding top competition. As an undisputed champion, and this was before he became undisputed, when you sit here and tell the boxing public that you're no longer fighting Mexican fighters, now let's just call it what it is. Do you think that statement would have ever came out of his mouth if you ain't had him pushing for Benavidez, if it wasn't a dangerous monster in his division that was Mexican? Do you think he would have ever said that? Imagine if Floyd would have said some shit like that. Man, he'd have got criticized, man. They'd have wanted him out of the sport if he'd have say he ain't fighting no more of this and fighting no more of that. Not even Floyd had that right to do that. We used to go at Mayweather for the same shit, and he fought the best. And you see what I'm saying? See, that's why I appreciate the family. That's a fact, D, man. Skywalker, the family, salute, bro. TWT, how you feeling, bro? Appreciate you for sliding through. Yeah, man, criticize Floyd, but then it's okay when he do it. Nah, bro, it's not okay. If it was good for the goose, it's good for the gander, as they say. So if it's not cool for Mayweather, then it's not cool for Canelo, who's done way less in the sport. The only thing he did more than Floyd, and I don't think nobody will argue that, is have more professional fights. That's it. That's all he did. That's all he did. But it don't mean shit when the quality is so far apart. That shit, their resumes will be like night and day in terms of what they're doing and how they challenge themselves. Imagine Floyd talking about he ain't fighting no more of this or that. Whether he said Mexicans or black fighters, he said that at 31, 32 years old, he not fighting no more of these people. Just think about that. Then I urge people to see how old he was when he fought De La Hoya, man. So when people say he taking a page out of Floyd book, he learned from Floyd. No, the fuck he didn't. He learned the wrong shit. He wasn't paying attention when the class was in session because he clearly not giving us the shit we want. Floyd was smart in terms of like, all right, we could talk about it because all things is boxing, but I'm gonna get into the main fights too, man. So y'all just sit tight. We gonna talk about it. Yeah, man. Floyd was smart in a sense, right? Whereas I've heard people criticize him for fighting Maidana, right? Maidana was a journeyman, or Maidana was a C-level fighter, or Maidana was trash. All this ignorance, right? But just look at when Floyd fought him. Of course, Maidana wasn't undefeated, but under the tutelage of Robert Garcia, he was undefeated. You see what I'm saying? He ain't lost a fight. He was coming off the biggest win of his career over Adrian Broner, so the buzz was on. It had a little backstory. Oh, the big bro gonna get revenge for little bro. He has a selling point. It's different. Like he's a marketing genius. He can get people to be excited for a fight that might not be 50-50 because how he gonna sell it and the circumstances surrounding the fight. He's a genius at doing it. He's always showed us that. He's not ducking. He quacking like a motherfucker. Facts don't say. And if he quack like a duck, then hey, it's a duck now, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So you figure, like, when they criticize Floyd for his opponent selection, just think about some of the times that he chose to fight some of these people, the circumstances surrounding it. Like, it meant more. You know what I'm saying? Fighting people coming off their best wins. You know what I mean? You got some people that have criticized him for fighting Ricky Hatton, an undefeated champion. Boy, it was, 40-0? On commentary, aka St. Louis, my bro. Appreciate you for sliding through. How you feeling, bro? You called them fights last night. Boy, he's definitely a great defensive fighter. Facts, Black Diamond. One of the best in the business, Queen. One of the best in the business. To me, in my 36 years, I haven't watched, of course, the boxing that I've watched, to me, hands down, he's the best defensive fighter I ever seen. You know what I'm saying? For me. And now, right now, in this generation of fighters, we got Shakur Stevenson kind of carrying that torch as being one of the best defensive fighters, if not the best defensive fighter in boxing. The dude get hit less than Floyd Mayweather right now, and I understand that he's much younger, and the quality of opponent may have been different, but just the path that he's on, like, he's special, man. It's hard to get a clean hit on that dude, and it's hard to even win rounds against him, and that's just how it was with Floyd. And with Shakur, man. You know it, man. You know it. We all things. Floyd took belts on real champions. Something else Canelo didn't do. Facts. Band put on a hell of a fight last night. We're gonna talk about it, St. Louis, on commentary for the people that don't know. That's St. Louis, man. For the people that don't know, I'm pretty sure the family know because the family's in here. Yeah, man. He took the belts off the champions and fought him when it would make sense to fight him. Like, get what I'm saying? Like. And like I said, Maidana might have not been undefeated according to his record, but under the tutelage of Robert Garcia, he was hot and beating ass. You know what I'm saying? Got AB, gave AB his first loss. It was hot. It was a little backstory. Oh, shit, you beat up my younger brother. I'm going to get you. Get what I'm saying? And then, Maidana tried to throw a monkey wrench in the situation. He was bringing it in that first fight. He did everything possible he could do dirty to Floyd to win and still lost. And then, you had people question Floyd saying he ain't had no legs. He got old. So he told him, look, man, I did it your way the first time. The next time I'll make you earn it. And then you seen how the rematch played out. That shit was like night and day. Maidana maybe had one or two rounds that entire 12-round fight. He got his ass beat handily. So, when it comes to Floyd, man, you can't put him and Canelo in the same conversation, if we're being honest. Now, we talking about being boxers and having wins, a lot of wins and shit like that. All right, cool. Canelo could be in that conversation, but when we talk about terms of level and greatness, they're not in the same conversation. And then when it showed you that when they fought, he was too green, but the boy had like 40 fights when he fought Floyd. The man had about 40 fights, 23 years old, had him by mad years. He was mad years younger. He was about 15, 20 pounds heavier than Floyd in that fight. Missed me with that shit. Tried to slam him, bite him, bit the glove, kicking. Hey, yo, look, hey, D, man. Just to be real, because Floyd is one of the few fighters that used to be that nervous like that. I don't know about y'all. I used to have like nerves, like for Floyd a little bit. And I do remember that being the last fight. I was like nervous like that because it wasn't just what Maidana was doing. It's the fact that he was being allowed to do it. And he wasn't getting that much of a warning. And then I know y'all had the same butterflies in y'all stomach. Don't lie. Don't lie. When Floyd had that little cut on his eye and he sat in the corner, he was like, I can't see. He heard the little panic in his voice for a second. I'm like, oh, shit, he can't see, man. I know goddamn well Maidana ain't about to beat two of my most watched favorite fighters right now, back to back. I was nervous as hell. Floyd made me nervous. He did that shit. Probably did it on purpose too. I can't fucking see something he said. I'm like, oh man, is the great one about to be like, taking off his square right now? Because I don't care what you say or how good you are. All that shit Maidana was doing at first was fucking, it was smart and it was fucking working a little bit. Had me nervous than a bitch. Nah, they're not the same. Yeah, D-man, you nervous too, bro? I was nervous as shit for Floyd for a second. And let me tell y'all, because I still remember that fight. The moment, I forget the round. I hate the fact that I forget the round. I want to say it was probably about the 6 or 7, man. One of them rounds, but the time where I finally like really calmed all the way down, I just wasn't worried for Floyd no more at all. He shot a combination, I believe it was to the body, and he pivoted away from it, Maidana. Like, he just threw it, like, in succession. Boom, boom, and just pivoted out the way. I was like, just that little move right there let me know that Floyd was adjusted and comfortable to all of that rough shit that he was doing. And the rest of the fight was much smoother and a lot less competitive than that first half of it was. Man, I was nervous as shit for Floyd. I swear, when he said, I can't see. I said, what? Bro can't see, the ref letting him do it, man. I said, God damn. He said, no, my dad is Cuban, so he does speak nothing of English. He told me never bet against Floyd Mayweather. Oh, yeah. Nah, for real. Like, I'm telling you now, when one of the first things that pop into my head when I see an undefeated fighter lose nowadays, and naturally it's easy to think of because when you think of undefeated and never lost, come on, man, we think of Floyd, yeah. So it's like sometimes when these undefeated fighters and these prospects lose a fight or their first big test or whatever, you know what I mean, on their way up, it just make you appreciate what Floyd brought to the table because he never let you down. Say what you want, but he never let you down. You could criticize all you want for how he fought, how defensive he was, but he never let you down. And he was always the smarter man, never the fastest, probably all the time, never the biggest, never the strongest, but he was always the smartest. He taught me how to appreciate boxing on a different level. That's why I watch this shit as heavily as I do, and I'm able to, understand what I'm watching because he showed you fight after fight. This is what boxing is. You know what I'm saying? I had money on that thing. My stomach was hurting. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, don't ever let me meet Floyd, boy, and have a conversation. That'd be one of the things I love to bring up, man. Do you know how nervous motherfuckers used to be for some of your fights, bro? Have a motherfucker nervous as hell for Floyd, knowing he about to beat ass, but you still nervous for a second. Yeah, he do, man. That's his biggest issue right there, and you can still see that now. And the way he moved today, he valued the spotlight way too much. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing wrong with it, but it's like, don't do it to the point where it becomes attention seeking, and he already passed that. And I mean, I guess rightfully so, because look how many years he went, look how long he spent in boxing. He dedicated his life to the sport, and you know what I mean? He was so used to that attention. And when one thing I hear a lot of times from entertainers when they retire is the the trouble that they have struggling with not having that attention and not being the focal point no more. And I think Floyd still deals with that to this day. Genius in the ring, outside the ring, I don't understand him. Yeah, he'll leave you scratching your head. He'll leave you scratching your head. Like, he'll beat some ass in the ring. When it come to boxing, he gonna talk all the shit he want and he gonna back it up all the way up. Then outside the ring, like, remember Gucci did that thing where they put the little kid and the monkey on the sweater or whatever it was, and everybody was boycotting him. This fool goes on a shopping spree. The whole community pissed off and ain't fucking with Gucci. This dude say I don't follow trends or something, and proceeds to go in the store and go on a fucking shopping spree when they just disrespected our people. Facts, Black Dime. I'm telling you, we used to be nervous as shit watching Floyd. I literally never been nervous in a Floyd fight except when he fought Cotto. Yeah, St. Louis. I used to always have them little nerves, yo. I swear I did at first, but McDonough, that shit lasted a little longer than what it normally do. Like, that shit had me, you feeling some time. I don't care what you say, when, like, as a boxing supporter, when you into a fight or some shit happening to your fighter that you ain't expect, because the shit just get quiet. Motherfuckers just stop talking. Everybody just stopped talking to each other for a while. Then it'd be that one person, man. I don't know, man. He on Floyd us. It'd be that one person. It's like it was with Spence. I remember early in the Spence fight when he fought Kell Brook. Like, them early rounds was, Kell Brook was doing his thing. And I remember my brother looking over there at me like, man, I don't know, man. Spence Kell Brook tripping Spence. And I remember I kept telling him, this shit gonna change. Just give it a couple rounds, and that's exactly what happened. The Picasso boxing Floyd Mayweather. Facts, he'd paint a canvas in that bitch. He come in with a blank canvas and leave out with a masterpiece on people. New Floyd was fucking around versus Maidana. Cotto was actually touching him more than usual with skill and time, and his size was playing a factor. Shit, I was like, get it right. Yeah, you know what? I guess Cotto, because you're right. Cotto landed a lot of jabs, and that's a punch that was helping him. He had Floyd nose busted up real good in that fight. I remember he had Floyd nose leaking pretty good. But I just wasn't never nervous for him because at that point I already seen Cotto seen him get fucked up. And he just didn't have Floyd in no compromising situations. Like, he might have lost a few of those rounds in that entire fight. And then he almost stopped Cotto in the 12th. Remember, he caught, I think it was an uppercut, buckled the legs. I said Floyd had a lot harder than people think. I wasn't really nervous for him for the Cotto fight. But for the Maidana one, yeah, for sure I was. For sure, I was shook for a second. I'm like, oh shit, what's going on with Floyd? Just like, yo, like Quee, y'all was in the building for Spence Ugas. I was sitting here telling T and shit. Like, when I seen him get hit with that 2-piece and he went to the ropes for a second. Man, I sat up quick as hell. Eyes got big. I said, hold the fuck on. I said, what's going on right now? Is he hurt? Like, for 2 seconds, I was like that, like, the fuck is happening right now? I seen Buddy bounce off the ropes and smile. I said, oh, nah, EJ, he good. He different. He good. I know, man, that's the universal term for I'm nervous for my dog. Yeah. I swear to God it is, bro. On everything it is. Man, you like, man, I don't know. That first I don't know, that's just that I don't know really is denial. You just don't know it yet. That's why you saying that. I don't know. Yeah, you in denial. That's what you don't know right now. Your ass in denial. He was on Floyd ass for about 5-6 rounds, boy. Rough house. And I said, damn. But he adjusted to that shit like a real dog and brought home the beautiful victory, man. This dude saying he want to work with me. I don't know what kind of work he do. I don't sell nothing, bro. But if it'll help you and it's no problem to me, then all right, cool. Whatever. I'm really a nice guy behind the screen, man. I try to be nice and shit to people, interacting with complete strangers and shit. So those shit. Then he smiled, said, "Yeah." The moment where Ugas fucked up, yeah. And I even made a joke. You know what I'm saying? I said, "Oh man, Mo City showing me these damn things, man. Crawfish, them things look good." Man, they look good, man. Luis Ortiz, 74 years old. Yeah, man. But I was even joking with T saying, like, man, Jordanis went back to that corner. Ishmael Salas started saying to him, man, Jordanis, I don't think you should have did that. Said you shouldn't have did that. That wasn't a good idea. You hit that man when he wasn't paying attention. You done pissed him off. They stopped that fight. I was about to lose his eye. Yeah, that's a fact, yo. He was getting battered, yo. And the problem is the way it was swelling up, it was bad. Like, it needed to be stopped. I respect the hell out of Ugas for standing up to that much punishment, man. Bro, when EJ first stumbled back to the ropes, I jumped up and I can't even front. When the action restarted, I knew he was Gucci. Yeah, I sat up quick as hell. I had the butterflies for a second. Heart started beating a little bit. Hey, man, that's how you know you love boxing. That's not no fanboy shit either. That's boxing. That's when you rooting for somebody and you just want to see them do well and you see some shit about to get in the way of that. It just gets you nervous for a minute. Like, oh, shit, what happened? Because I would love to talk to the Terrence Crawford fans, and I'm a Terrence Crawford supporter too, so don't think I ain't. But I would love to talk to them to ask them like how they personally felt when Gamboa had caught Crawford with that hook on the point of his chin and his legs went like that. If you say you weren't nervous, you a goddamn lie, boy. You're nervous than a motherfucker. You seen that shit happen. Punch Crawford like that, seen it get the noodle legs real quick, did the stinky leg for a second. I said, oh shit, he about to stop Crawford. And at that time, that was way before they was ever talking about a Spence Crawford fight. So, everybody was all in that Crawford was the guy at that time. You know what I'm saying? And I felt nervous for him. I said, oh, shit. I seen Gamboa catch him. I said, oh, shit, he hurt. Shook that bitch off, though. Crawford, I'm a pro fisherman out of Key West. Funny thing is, I'm allergic to lobster, shrimp, and stone crab. That's crazy. Yeah, I got to try some crawfish, and I gotta get me some brisket and some burnt ends. Like, it's a must. It's like mandatory at this point that I get some. I was roasting the two Ugas fans right next to me, and the two Ugas fans sit right in front of me. I was on their neck. Tell them Queen ain't nothing like that fight energy, man. And I know that energy for y'all was different because the magnitude of the fight. The biggest fight that I had to be a part of, I was in the building for AB, like I was telling the family. I was me and my brother was in the building for AB and Paulie. That brought people out. You know what I mean? It was a lot of fighters in attendance. It was a big crowd. He brought the people out to the Barclays that night. That shit was dope, exciting. At the end of the night, I had a bad end of the night because I was drinking and did it on an empty stomach, and I don't really drink. So by the time the fight was over, I was fucked up. I was toasted, man. That shit had me real. My lightweight ass was fucked up, man. Crawford's good as hell. I gotta get some quick. Mo City just sent me a picture because we was on the G5. He's showing out G5. He just showed me a fresh batch of cooked, steamed up crawfish, man. Them things look good. That's a good one. I was a bigger Crawford fan. And then when Gamboa had that boy stinky leg, and I was shook. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, is he about to get Crawford? And then Crawford went into retreat. Now, again, man, this is no slight to him. Shit is shit. We just talking about, fights. Just pay attention to any fight where they try to say Errol Spence got hurt and look at that man's eyes and look at his legs, or look at his legs, then his eyes, whichever one you want to look at first, and tell me how hurt do he be. And then you look at Crawford in certain situations. You tell me you could visibly see hurt and buzz is two different things too. I be trying to say, you smell lobster when it's being cooked or shrimp stone crab. My neck swells up. That's crazy. Hey, that's crazy, Jose. That's crazy. A1, salute my bro. Appreciate you for sliding through. TWT, D-Ray, what's good with you, bro? How you feeling? Nah, big fish. You reeling in the big fish? Rocking with Crawford. It's all good over here too. All that is welcome. All good boxing talk is welcome, man. The whole fight, they was cheering when Ugas snuck Earl. When he smiled, said, oops, shit's creek now. Yeah, I'm telling you, that was the best and worst thing at the same time that Ugas did in that fight. That two-piece. And when I can't stress enough, like, people keep saying, if that was Crawford on the other end, he would have knocked him out. You don't know that for sure, man. You assume that. And it's like, y'all assuming that you're going to see some shit that you never seen. Like, I ain't hear the scenario was saying if Spence was on the other side and that was Crawford, he hit with a fucking two-piece when he wasn't even bracing for it. He was not. Do you know how crazy that is? Man, we done all been punched in our stomachs off guard, and you or somebody hit you off guard and you ain't paying attention, knock the wind out you a little bit. So just let alone, and that's because you ain't paying attention. So just imagine somebody hauling off with a 2-piece. You know what I mean? Clean as shit. Boom, boom. And don't knock you down or out. That say something about the dude that you just hit, man. And I guarantee you, if that was a street fight and somebody landed a 2-piece like that and it had that effect, they would not want it no more. I'm telling you, they would not want that. My bad, I'm behind, y'all. Let me speed up. TJ, how many rounds you give Paulie against AB? Salute, bro. I don't know if you sub, but if not, hit that sub button, hit the like button. If you didn't already, come join the family. If you already subbed, then salute to you. Appreciate you. Man, I had to go back and think, yo, because I was right there. I felt like in that fight, it was deceiving because Paulie had activity. That's what made the fight what it was. It was AB first time fighting at the weight. AB is he don't have a real high punch output. And Paulie is a big time. He a jabber, and he'll let his hands go. He ain't got much power, but he'll let his hands go. I just felt like AB was edging the rounds because the work that he was doing was a lot cleaner and more effective, obviously. Like, and it's not just that Paulie didn't have the power, his punches, he just wasn't landing the kind of shots AB was. But don't get it wrong, that fight was very competitive in terms of activity, but I think AB definitely, I think he clearly, you know what I mean, handled his business. But it was competitive, no doubt. I have to go back and watch. I don't want to just throw out rounds and just because you asked and be on some bullshit. I really go watch that fight again and rescore it. At the time I remember not scoring it at the time. I remember just enjoying it, but I remember how I would feel after each round. I'm like, as long as AB stay on top of his shit and up his punch output, he'd be all right. But once he started letting his hands go even more, he started to do even better against Paulie. I respected Paulie. He fought, man. He tried. He fought his ass off against AB. Got all his connections. I go to the gym of the Cuban boxers. They buy 1,000 pounds of fish. Wow. And fish ain't that bad on a diet in terms of being a boxer, is it? That shit ain't that bad for them to be eating. They can consume that. I don't think that put the weight on them like that. Salute to everybody in the building. D-Ray Promotion, salute, bro. Appreciate you for sliding through this joint. A1, my bro G5, my sis Quee. D-Man, my bro, on commentary. Appreciate all y'all. Happy pin with you. Yeah, that's what you need, Jose. You guys had to stop him with the sneak shots. It was all or nothing gamble. I ain't mad at him for trying because his eye was already fucked up. Yeah, facts, yo. But you know what's funny? People was like, man, why he ain't follow up? He ain't follow up. He probably didn't follow up because it dawned on him that the referee actually did say stop twice for people that didn't hear that. Y'all and that's something that don't get talked about enough too. They keep saying how Spence lost focus. He can't do that against Crawford. No doubt, I agree. But do keep in mind, it was some lost focus in there, but it also was an error and a mishap on the referee's behalf. And I believe that's why when Ugas landed that punch, it was just like a react, like, oh shit, like, did he say stop? And he stopped. Like, you know what I'm saying? I respect him for it. And that place samurai where they cook in front of you, like, to stick me in my leg with that injection. Damn, be safe out there. That you got a bad allergy toward that shit, bro. Worst L in boxing history, AB and Paulie. Yeah, man, you know Paulie, and Paulie got the gift of gab. He's a hell of a shit talker, but I felt like at the end, Broner won a couple times over because he beat you, he had you mad, took your belt. You know what I mean? And whatever it was, it wasn't a full belt. He said he left with belt and his girl. I believe it. He said to him. And then he said, don't brag about, my side piece. Like, he just told the whole world that he got a girl and he was cheating. I thought that was bogus when I heard him say that. I'm sorry, yo. AB had that dude so worked up that he told on himself, man. I said, man, if they ain't getting under somebody's skin, I don't know what is. So the ref after the shot, Spence saw the ref before the shots. Man, that's a good point, St. Louis. That's a good point, bro. Facts. He seen him before, and then Ugas caught it after, and I respect him. Like, stop. Like, oh, shit, did he say stop? And he stopped. That's why he was able to get them off, because EJ was following direction. Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, Jose, stay safe out there, bro. For real. Don't brag about taking my side piece. You don't get laid. Remember, you don't get laid. I'm like, yo, Paulie, mad as hell, boy. But AB was keeping it real. What he was saying was the chick told him that he was putting his hands on her or some shit like that. That's what AB was trying to say. The chick was telling him that Paulie used to hit her or some shit. Like, don't brag about taking my side piece. You don't get laid. He don't get laid. This boy doing pornos and all type of shit. What you watching? You know what I'm saying? It's AB. He a young, wild dude with money that's beating everybody ass, still undefeated. And you really think he ain't getting no ass? That man got what, 5 kids or something like that? He ain't getting no ass. Them kids ain't making themselves, then for damn sure. Don't brag about taking my side piece. You don't get laid. That shit is classic, bro. That shit is classic, but okay, be careful out there, definitely, for sure. Because you know you the family. I want all the family good. I don't just say that either. But yeah, man. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into last night, man. Y'all seen Raymond Ford pitch damn near shutout last night against a second undefeated opponent in a row. Because the draw came against a 10-1, a 10-0 opponent. His draw came against a undefeated opponent, and his last 2 fights was also against undefeated opponents. The only difference is he got wins instead of a draw this trip. And he completely outboxed Richard Medina, man. I'm just glad to see it, not only just because he's from Jersey, but I like to see the young talent doing their thing. And Ray Ford definitely put on last night, man. Hey guys, imagine floating on a boat for 7 days catching fish. I have a record. I don't have a choice. I can't let my girl. Yeah, she goes fishing with my lady does. Facts, man. That's what's up. I ain't never been fishing. Yeah, I hear it's peaceful. I will only want to do it with somebody that's experienced, though. I don't want to be out there just dumb as hell and shit. I like to go with somebody that know what the hell they doing. But yeah, man, Ray Ford had an impressive win last night over an undefeated opponent, a game opponent. He was tough. He came to try to fight, but it seemed like Ray Ford was like a step and a half, damn near 2 steps ahead of him for most of the night. And as the fight wore on, you seen him get more comfortable. He started letting his shots go. He was touching Medina up last night, man. I just like what I seen from Ray Ford. Like this, he showed his pedigree last night for sure, man. He showed that he got what it take, man. I just want to see what's next for him, man, because he already testing and challenging himself early. And that's something you like to see from a young fighter, man. You know what I'm saying? He had featherweight, so it's definitely smoke there for him. So, and he just 12-0-1 now after last night with, I believe, 6 knockouts. So I just want to see where he go from here. I don't know. I don't have a possible next opponent for him. I just want to see where they move him because he on his way, man. He doing his thing and he continue to get better. I like the chemistry that was displayed from his corner too, man. He was switched on, and I said that from the opening bell. You pay attention to Ray Ford, like you always say, the eyes don't lie. That'll tell you just how focused the fighter is. And that the eyes could tell you the difference between a motherfucker that's look like the moment is too much for him, and the difference between a motherfucker that feel like they on top of the moment. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna cease the moment, and that's what he did. And his eyes, he was focused the entire time. He was switched on. He was relaxed, patient. His punch selection and timing was spot on, I believe, for this fight, especially once he warmed up and started getting his combinations flowing a little bit. He was able to do some okay work to the body, but I like particularly some of the work he did upstairs, man. Picking his shots real well and like just outboxing this dude round after round, beating him to the punch, getting out of the way. He did a hell of a job defensively. That's where he looked like he improved to me defensively because he didn't get hit real flush for majority of the fight. He did a hell of a job blocking shots, rolling with them, covering up real tight. Some of them shots was bouncing off the arms and elbows. And then he had countered back with something. And I'm just like, he was real reactive last night. And it was a spot on performance, man. He fought damn near a perfect fight. You never been or just we gotta get you out there. Yeah, facts. I think you would love how relaxing it is. You can chill out on the water, smoke something, kick back, and that's what I'm all about, mellowing out and just enjoying a good vibe, man. Yeah. Jose gonna be on the deadliest catch. AB, funny as fuck. When Dan Raphael said, "Do you really believe in your heart that you won that fight?" AB said, "Hell yeah, I believe I won that fight." It's like when you believe you won cheese on that. AB crazy. Hell yeah, I beat that boy. Gonna ask AB some shit like that. Like, you heard what he said the first time. Hell yeah, he feel like he won. But I felt like when he was saying that shit with the Pacquiao fight, I felt like in his mind, like if you do look, he did a good job defensively, but he was just too defensive and not offensive enough. And he just allowed Pacquiao to constantly get off on him. But his face, he left out pretty clean. That's why I say, man, it's mental with AB. And like he revealed in that Vlad interview, like, you know, that damage he sustained in that Maidana fight is real, man. It's real. And I'm not calling Maidana no cheater, but I'm just going off of the shit that we know. And we know when it was time for him to fight Floyd and they was going to use those gloves. Floyd wasn't going for it. He said he fought 1,000 times. Ain't no fucking padding in the gloves. And Robert Garcia went on to say those are the same gloves we used against Broner. That should tell you a little bit of something. That kind of went over people's heads, but if you just think about the facts, the shit that you could, you know, we all seen how we seen it play out. That fight almost didn't happen because of the gloves. Floyd ended up paying that dude a nice bag to you know, wear the different gloves. So just think about that. You know what I'm saying? And then you look at AB and you seen the punishment that he sustained in the fight. Now I know he was getting hit, but you see how his jaw looked all swollen and crazy like that. You never seen him look like that again in the fight. It just didn't look natural to me. Like, that's what I remember. Like, you lost, but that shit didn't look natural to me. Maybe get the greatest interviews, him and Mel. Yeah, Mel, man. I need that clip where Mel was like, man, don't ask me about no fucking Terrence Crawford. He was like, fighting Brian Castano. Don't ask me about that nigga ain't in my fucking weight class. Mel was getting tight, got tired of this shit. Hey, yo, you not gonna keep asking me about a dude that's not my weight class. He gives great interviews and entertainment facts. Yeah, man. Always entertaining, yo. Always, man. Always. Even now, like, I just hope things work out for him and he able to get a comeback fight. But I just hope that they understand if Omar Figueroa is the next opponent for AB, even with that dude got 2 losses, he loved to let his hands go. You could ill afford to get in there and not work. You're gonna have to work. That's a very winnable fight, but it will not be easy in terms of dealing with the volume, because we all know 2 things. AB don't have a high punch output and he be too defensive sometimes. And we know Omar Figueroa, even though he's not really defensively responsible, he lets his hands go. And he make up for some of the shit that he lack on defense with his output. You know what I'm saying? He's able to win fights for him. You know what I'm saying? And this could just be like a bad style matchup depending on how AB approached this fight. You know what I mean? And me personally, I don't want to see him lose to somebody that I know for sure he could beat. Like, we already seen it throughout his career. Maidana, like, we seen how that played out, but I don't think people realize how close that fight was or how competitive it was. You just AB lost and he put himself in a big hole getting knocked down twice in 2 different rounds. So he was behind the 8 ball all night. He did a hell of a job fighting back. And he hurt Maidana at like the end of the 10th round. Hurt him. So it was a hell of a fight. It was a lot closer than what they thought it was. Yeah, the gloves, Jose, them gloves for me. And again, like, we don't gotta make nothing up. We could just go off of the evidence we could physically see right there in front of us. Floyd put that motherfucking glove on, started touching it. You seen how wrinkled and balled up them shits just didn't look like an official, brand new, authentic pair of gloves. Looked like they was either custom in terms of how they distributed the patent or somebody was tampering with them shits. And he didn't. He was adamant about it, and he didn't. You think Floyd gonna wait till you get to that fight to be scared and be worried about gloves? And that's what people made it seem like. He's just worried about getting knocked out. No, man. No, he fought big punchers throughout his career. You know what I'm saying? That's just something he was used to. Sit down, shut up, humble yourself, and fight Earl Spence. He's a stud. Yeah, because fucking with me, you gonna get knocked the fuck out. I'm a knockout artist, baby. I don't play no games. St. Louis, you're a fool for having that damn pack like that. No, was snapping in that Brian Custer interview. Yeah, in fact, he be spazzing, bro. That shit be funny as hell. Cuban gyms in Florida, I could slide through. In South America. Oh, he asked you his question, Jose. Any Cuban gyms in Florida? In South America, cheating on gloves is very normal. Wow. Wow. That's just like steroids. I take that serious as I take the steroids because it's an unfair advantage. You get what I'm saying? And you gambling with somebody's life. It's already life threatening. You already can get your life taken and have an authentic pair of gloves with absolutely nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with the gloves and something happened, let alone just giving yourself an unfair advantage. Like, you want to do that, just go fight in the bare knuckle shit. You know what I'm saying? Go do that. I go there and I train, but they do not let me take any video. I think he want to know, if it's any around where he could, hit up or go to. Yeah, that's bogus, man. The gloves, man. You gotta respect the sport and your opponent, man. I truly believe that's just something that I just really truly believe in. You gotta respect the sport and your opponent. New Cruz was coming. Morel, King Kong. They're all waiting for him, so I could tell him. Wow, they're telling me, yeah, Andy Cruz. Hey, I'm interested to see what he's gonna do next. Like, hopefully everything worked well and he able to just pursue his career and do his thing. He sound like a talented dude, man. Seem like he can make boxing exciting, Cuban style. He can fight his ass off. But like I keep saying, man, and maybe Jose, you could attest to this. This Cuban style, I don't want to say the style is changing because the style is going to always be what it is. High IQ, high skill fighters to me that can use the entire ring if they want to. They're very good, and they fight in rhythm. And then they're usually safe defensively. They're smart, responsible. But it seemed like this newer batch of Cuban fighters, they still defensively responsible, but they take more chances and they really come as if they want to hurt you. Like Robisi, that shit he did to Nova, it was impressive, just the style of the approach that he took. Like, but that's really how he fight. This dude be trying to hurt. He be wanting to go toe to toe. This dude. You can go to any Cuban gym. I'll give you the address, but they won't let you record sparring. King Kong is now at the shelf, on the shelf for 3 weeks. What's up with that? Yeah, but it's not due to King Kong. Ain't that because of Andy Ruiz? Didn't Andy Ruiz try to come out and say he had some type of injury or some shit like that? And I think it was Gross that sent me this video. Look at this video. Look at this video. Andy Ruiz, and y'all tell me what y'all think about it.
No push-ups.
Let me play it again.
No push-ups.
Yeah, man, he looked extra small. I don't know what come to y'all mind when y'all see that, but he looks super small to me. I don't know if that shit look natural though, because he's very small. His legs is chiseled. Like, you see his quads and shit. Steroids also no medicine in Cuba, but I go to Mexico and other countries to scout fighters. They juiced up. That's crazy, man. Yeah, facts. Commentary. You see him, bro? Bro looks skinny as hell. What's good with bro? Like, what's real good with bro though? Why is he that small? Like, is that just all hard work?
No push-ups.
Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. That shit look bogus. I do tell you that. I tell you that shit look crazy. But I mean, if it's hard work, salute and respect to him. But yeah, they saying he has some type of injury. Some type of injury or something. And I think they reported a couple different injuries at that. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. But I heard King Kong is looking like he in amazing shape right now. No waste. That way, no. So, South Florida. Hold up. I get you the address right now. Appreciate that, Jose. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I mean, if that's all hard work and dedication, then salute to Andy Ruiz. But that dude is smaller than I ever seen him, and it's top and bottom, man. You said all that fat comes off easier. What with the roids? Or are you just saying you think it's this hard work, D man? You think he just been putting in work? I don't know what to think of that Andy Ruiz shit. And I hate to just accuse people, but that shit just look funny. And then you keep popping up with these injuries, the fight getting pushed back, postponed, all this weird shit, injury this, injury that. Like, man, I don't know. I think King Kong gonna get him too. He ain't look too hot against Chris Arreola. I think Chris Arreola had way too much success against him, in my opinion. He's a great slick fighter, but he doesn't hit hard as Tank. Nope. He's super slick, a lot of head movement. Who you talking about, Jose? What? You going to get him or something? Yeah, man. Booger Sugar 5 said Booger Sugar. It might be roids. Yeah, I'm telling you, something just that shit just man, is he really working? Like, cause then now just think. Now again, if we just going off of some of the information that's out there, what did Canelo say? He didn't only say Ryan Garcia was half-assed. He said Andy Ruiz too. Said them dudes come in there and they don't work for real. So you hear that and you was just in that camp. Now all of a sudden you slimmer than slim. Shit, man, you getting me slimmer, man. I don't know. Nigga might could drop a weight class. What he trying to do? Go to light heavy? It depends on the fighter. King Kong can crack and slick. Gamboa tries to break you down. You know, the Russians showed us that style. That's what's up. Yeah. King Kong could crack. He got boxing. You see what I'm saying? He coming to hurt too, but he a heavyweight. So you kind of expect him to kind of he in the you know what I mean? That's the heaviest of the heavy, but Robisi and these other young dudes, man, they coming in there smoking shit. They coming punching on people, man. My bro Yoda Wise Crush, aka Crush the Legend. My bro, what's good with you? Appreciate you, bro. You know I'm trying to. We gonna chop it up. I'm gonna be here for a little minute too, so I ain't going nowhere, people. Morel King Kong said the best fight I've ever seen. Yeah. Oh, Morel King Kong said that's the best fight I've ever seen. I'm telling you that it's his comfortability in the ring is very impressive. Man, that's something that I always say about Morel. And I think the number of fights is what those people off. And that's what, you know, kind of push people to say, oh, he's not ready for this and that. But I think if you're looking at how he handled his fights, how he's winning his fights, he did have, you know, just only had 7 fights. He got a couple names on his resume that's quality. You know what I'm saying? They're not world beaters, but they can't all be world. The dude got less than 10 fights, but he already fought for a version of a title and has a belt. Whether it's a major strap or a second, it don't matter. He got one. So he ready. His ass got a belt. Going 12 rounds, like motherfuckers don't even be going 12 rounders that early. The dude did a 12 rounder like his 4th fight or some shit. Something your hand doesn't fix in 3 weeks. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Ghost knows all the facts. Yeah, man. Like, I'm just play this again. It's only 10 seconds, but look how small. Is this really hard work and dedication?
No push-ups.
Man, that's that dude, man. And salute to him if he really, you know, worked all that shit off like that. No more taco, no more burritos. I guess not, right? Apparently, no more Snickers, right? Remember, this is the Snicker King. Nah, I guess no more Snickers. Maybe he ain't eat no more. Maybe that's the Snickers diet, the no Snicker diet that he on. No Snicker, no more tacos and burritos diet, probably. Better hope so, because that fight being pushed back at the end of time and it looked real sus. Bro said, yeah, okay. You're like a 68-pounder, damn near facts, or at least light heavyweight. What the fuck he doing, man? Who the fuck he trying to fight next? Beevil? My bro TWT, man. What's good with you, bro? Appreciate you for sliding through. You know, we in here chopping it up, talking this boxing. Right now, we talking about Slim Ruiz right now. Andy Slim. That boy, man, that boy is some shit.
No push-ups.
That shit just look different, bro. That's all I'm saying. I ain't see Andy Slim look that damn small. Especially from people she lefty, just like Carissa, but not as tall. And wait, remember I told you she coming? Okay. We're gonna be on the lookout, bro. I'll definitely be liking to get the ladies there, just do. So speaking of the ladies, you know, like I said, Ray Ford, my Jersey, and my New Jersey and young scrapper just put in a hell of a performance last night. Yeah, bro. I'm with you. I'll just say, and then look at the pushback of the fight. 3 weeks and all this weird. Like, what's going to hell in 3 weeks, bro? In your hand. Like, damn, they be blowing me with these injuries. Mm-hmm. He said Ruiz, the new Skinny Hardaway. You a fool, bro. You a fool. Coach Joe, appreciate you for sliding through, bro. How you feeling? TWT, you know it. Appreciate you on that super chat, putting a little color in here on this good Sunday afternoon. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, Ruiz slim as shit, but yeah, I got some. You jump back to Ford, man. Like I said, he put on last night, and he really showed that he showed his pedigree last night. His timing was on point. He controlled the range real well, and he controlled the pace of the fight as well. And then when he was defensive, he did a hell of a job, you know, selecting how to be defensive. Like when he needed to cover up, he did. If he needed to slip a punch, he did. If he needed to roll with a punch, he did. Like his defense was on all cylinders, in my opinion, because I didn't really see him get hit with too many real flush shots. You know what I'm saying? And that just was impressive to me. And like I say, he's fighting another undefeated opponent with a couple more fights than what he had. So he did pretty good. How you know when somebody's ready to throw them in the ring again? It's better be there to stop the BS facts. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know until you throw them in there. They always talking about somebody ain't ready. Like you had people saying that about Ban for his last 2 fights. If we being honest, because maybe it wasn't a heavy opinion, but you definitely had people feeling like maybe Quadras is too much of a jump. I mean, going up the weight class or whatever it was to fight him. Then you had people saying Sor Rungvisai had all these fights over him. Maybe he could be biting off more than he could chew. But, man, he pitched a fucking shutout, bro. Shut out. So, and you know what, Jose, real quick, that's a good point, yo. It's just because it just make me think. Like they always say that about Morrell because of the number of fights. But just look at the amount of fights that Sor Rungvisai had over Bam last night. Look how many professional fights that he had over, and look how much more experience, the level of opponents that he was facing. That's the same dude that beat Chocolatito twice. You know what I'm saying? So, and he have, you know, that's similar situation. You know, what is that? 15 fights he in now? 15, 16 fights. To Sor Rungvisai got about what? 57 total fights. Look how many more fights he got. And people, it's not about that. When you're talented, you just it. When you that dude, you that dude. Name some of the Florida gyms. Yeah, man, he's cycling off or something, Crush. That shit's just suspect. Is it me or Ryan Garcia mentally changed from Eddie Reynoso camp? Now he wants to fight. You know what's crazy about that is he already back doing what he just told the fans and the people that he wasn't going to do. Call people out and not fight them and shit like that. So I was giving him his credit for that. He was showing some growth and maturity to accept maybe he wasn't where he needed to be at after that Emmanuel to go fight. But you know, that performance is like it humbled him immediately, even though he won. I think he knocked dude down in the fight too, but he still just didn't look overly impressive. He looked real average, you know what I'm saying, in that fight. And it seemed like he was aware of that, and as a result, he was humbled by it. And some of the stuff that he said after the fight is something I could get behind. If that's how you was gonna move after that, stop calling people out and just train, put the work in, and let your team and your people figure out the next step for you. And already before you can even get back into the ring, you got an opponent, but you still talking more about Tank Davis than the opponent that you fighting, bro. Like I'm not understanding. In fact, Crushy, dude obviously want to check, and not that he even pressed for money, but he damn sure ain't trying to be great. He doing a lot of talking. Case of void. Damn it, man, was good, bro. Appreciate you for sliding through. How you feeling? See Tank and JoJo fight. How you see that fight? Shit, JoJo is tough. JoJo is tough, but his chin to get tested in ways that ain't been tested when he fight Tank, and he ain't a big puncher too much. So you know how I feel about Tank. Like you could compete and you can get a round or two off, but once he realized two things, he can touch you when he want to, or you can't hurt him, you are in trouble, because keeping him out of your wheelhouse is going to be like hell. And I don't think JoJo got the pop on his punch. He swing hard, like he be going for the fences, but I think Tank will end up giving it to him. It'd be a good fight though, because JoJo's a dog, and he coming regardless of what. When he get in that ring, he be coming to fight. Woo! Yes, sir, Crush. You know I'm all for them. That type of smoke, man. Ryan versus El Rio, man. Boy, oh boy, he getting knocked the fuck out in that fight, and might be early. It might not even take that long. I'm telling you, because El Rio be punching hard as shit, and he can box with it. We down for that fight? Hell yeah, I'm down for it. The question is, will crying lion Ryan getting there with him? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think so too. On commentary, I think he'd be competitive simply because JoJo will come to fight. He's gonna try to fight. He's gonna put up a fight. He's gonna do what he can do, but I just don't think it'd be enough. And I think he eventually get stopped by Tank. Being that he ain't no front runner, maybe the fight go past 6. You know what I'm saying? But I say at some point, I think Tank could get him up out of there. It's the Reynoso Boxing Gym off Eureka, because my 84, the highway, let me get you the number. Give me a second. Okay, that. Appreciate that, Jose. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll do some things to JoJo, but no doubt he'll come to fight. Damn sure he'll come to fight. But I want to see Ryan got Fortuna to worry about, and even though Fortuna lost to JoJo, he did some things well in that fight that I could see him being able to repeat against Ryan Garcia. And if Ryan don't catch Fortuna early, then there won't be no knockout. Not on his behalf anyway. His best shot at knocking Fortuna out to me would be early, because I believe Ryan Garcia early, that's when he's his strongest, and I believe Ryan is a front runner. I believe if he get in there with a guy that's gonna push him and push the pace and not let him sit back and dictate terms, like Emmanuel to go pretty much let him dictate terms and the pace that he wanted to fight at all night. Dude was just there to survive and be an opponent and get a check. He wasn't trying to win. You know what I'm saying? Against Fortuna, I expect Fortuna to be coming to try to win. And if he's in good shape, great shape, and his mind is right, we might see an upset, man. Realistically, you might see an upset. Let's do where you from. Now, I'm from Jersey, bro. I don't mind. Now I'm from Jersey. That's why I had to come talk about the young boy from Camden, New Jersey that put on last night, Raymond Ford. He did his thing. Also, the MMA guy, Romero, trains people and children too. He's a really good person, really humble. That food's huge. Good people, but come on. Looks like a refrigerator. My brother Skills, my bro. Salute to you. Appreciate you for coming through. How you feeling? Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Yeah, but Ray 4, Zay, he put on last night from Jersey. So, Johnny Q, appreciate you, bro. How you feeling? Appreciate you for sliding through. Yeah, he put on. He pitched damn near a shutout. He won pretty much every round. And I think this was his best performance to date. Like, you know what I mean? The biggest fight of his career, so to speak. You know, another undefeated opponent. Dude was 13-0, 7 KOs. And Ford came out there and just controlled the fight the entire night. No, he didn't really get hit with much clean, and he dominated. You know what I'm saying, and I salute to Raymond Ford. Raymond Ford put on from Camden, New Jersey. He put on last night on DAZN, beating his second undefeated opponent in a row. And one, and like I said, I think that was his most impressive win to date. You know what I'm saying, he did his thing for sure. And then we had Jessica McCaskill doing her thing last night, and I thought that fight was gonna go the distance with her and Ibarra, Alma Ibarra. But man, I said it, and I said it on the live before I did this. You know what I mean? Way before the fight, I said if Ibarra is gonna have any chance at winning, she gonna have to make it a boxing match. She gonna have to keep it boxing. I said if she allow McCaskill to draw her into a fight early, you know what I mean, she gonna be in trouble. Because one thing I learned about Ibarra, even though she only had that one loss, and her wins, she's pretty much fighting at her pace, and she had a decent jab, and she was a good combination puncher from the film that I seen. Like, she liked to punch in combination. When she used her jab, she get in range, she punch in combination. But last night, you know, McCaskill was like a possessed, man. She came in there fighting like she just found out she was getting cheated on or something. I mean, I was joking about that last night, but that's how she fought. She fought like that last night. She fought like she was being cheated on last night. She came out there and immediately removed the option for it to ever be a boxing match. You know what I'm saying? And she just came out there chugging, you know what I mean, and swinging for the fences. And she was clipping this chick early. She got her up out of there, man, quick. She made short work of Ibarra last night. I mean, she just went balls to the wall. I don't know if it was just she felt like the chick ain't belonging there with her or whatever the case was, but she was not playing with her food last night. She was not playing with her food. She did that. She got that win, and she got that shit in quick time. She wanted that win in a rush. It was a 10-rounder, and she got done with that in 3. You know what I mean? She retained all her titles. You know, she's still undisputed at 47. And I know she made reference to potentially moving down to 40 and going to maybe get a fight down there, or possibly going up a little bit and chasing a fight there. But still remains to be seen what she going to do. But after last night, I mean, shit, sky's the limit for her. She's still an undisputed champion, still winning. She got an impressive knockout. I thought the fight was going to go the distance because I at least felt like Ibarra was going to be able to use her boxing to kind of help her navigate through the rounds. You know, even though I felt like she was going to be losing the majority of the rounds, I felt like she could have used her boxing to help her at least make it to the end of the fight. But like I said, I ain't think that, you know, she was going to get blitzed that early, that fast. And like I said, McCaskill just made it a dogfight from the beginning, from the opening bell to the end of the third, you know, when she got her out of there. And yeah, her corner stopped it. You know what I mean? They stopped it, I believe. Didn't they stop in the corner? I believe it was. She was getting lit up. So, I mean, I wanted to see more. I don't think they should have did it like that, but I do ultimately think she would end up getting stopped. And maybe that's why the corner elected to stop it. They had to kind of save her from herself because it was getting bad in there. She was getting hit with some heavy shots. She got a little bit off in a couple rounds that she lasted, but it just wasn't enough. She lost every round convincingly, or she lost it 2 and then got stopped in the third. So, you know, she ain't really stand a chance. I thought she was going to be more competitive. Like I said, she showed that she can box, but I mean, it was levels, and McCaskill she wasn't beat. She refused to be denied last night. And she fought like it was her last fight or some shit. She made short work of Ibarra, got her out of there in 3 rounds. And like I said, let's see what's next for her. Maybe she goes down to 40, or maybe she chase some smoke at a higher division, but we gonna see. But right now, she still, as it remains, she's undisputed champion. She got a knockout in 3 rounds. So she did her thing. And then we had Akhmadaliev versus Ronnie Rios. And I don't want to be overly critical. I am just due, so I got to give Akhmadaliev his credit. He did his thing. I don't really think he lost any of the rounds, really. I think he damn near pretty much pitched a shutout. And I don't know. I haven't seen him fight so many times. JL, salute, bro. How you feeling? Appreciate you for stopping through. Do you think women belong on the pound for pound list with men? Either do that or give them their own separate list. You get what I'm saying? And I'm kind of cool with it either way, because you got to give them their credit. But I think it makes sense to do them separately in a sense. I kind of do. You know what I mean? Because it's tough to do it that way, like to pit the women up against the men. So I don't think that's doing them a disservice if somebody comes up with a separate pound for pound list with just the women on it. Because they should. Like, the men should have theirs and they should have theirs. Or then again, you could have a list where you're factoring in, both male and female. But that'd be tough to, just ultimately pit women up against the men. But shit, I think they deserving of their own pound for pound list in their own right. Because these women, for sure, have been putting on, and like they're not as deep in terms of talent and opponents to be able to avoid and duck smoke the way some of these men do. So they more than likely you're gonna see more even matchups in the women's division because of that reason. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe that. Like they have less to work with, less opponents out there. So when you got somebody good to fight, you just got to fight them. And a lot of times with the women, you're gonna see that. You're going to see the best fighting the best, and that's just good. So me personally, I don't have a problem with them having their own separate list, just to give them their proper credits, pitting the women up against the other women and not so much the men. But I do think they need to look into possibly making their rounds 3-minute rounds. I really do. I think it'll serve a lot of these women better if they had 3 minutes to work with instead of the 2. Some of these fighters that's not necessarily getting the knockouts, but be putting hands on females. I think that'll do them, some justice if they consider that. I think they should consider for real, because they're no longer amateurs. They need 3-minute rounds to really work, and that'll separate the ones that's really, training, from the ones that's not really doing it. I think it would. I think that'd be great for boxing. But yeah, man, I see, this MJ Akhmadaliev kid, man. He pretty much pitched a shutout. I haven't seen him live too many times. I think that was my second time seeing him fight. I mean, he can fight. The dude is skilled. He's defensively responsible. Like, It's not reckless in there, but it seemed like he was kind of carrying Ronnie Rios. Like, he wasn't doing enough. He was winning the rounds, but it wasn't overly impressive. And I just wasn't seeing nothing real special with the kid. And he pretty much waited to round 12 to up the ante. And, he started landing some heavy shots on Ronnie and got him up out of there. I mean, he did get the knockout late, so he did show that he got some type of pop late in the fight, but just don't think he had much of an opponent to deal with in there. I said 2 different lists, and yes, they should move up 3-minute rounds, and it might help with more stoppages. All facts, Jay. All facts, bro. Like it, just get them that, because you got too many women advocating for it, and ones that, I think they should leave it up to them. They should do a poll and let all the women, women decide whether or not it should be 3-minute rounds. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones that gotta actually do the round. So I could see if they did a vote and the women like, nah, we good at 2, and it's a majority thing, then cool, leave it. But I'll still be hoping that at some point they change that because I would like to see it. Think you'll get more stoppages for real, and you'll see a little more action. Give you a chance to see more action as well, not just for the knockouts, but more competitive fights. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes when that 2-minute bell be sounding, it's like the action just be getting where you needed to get, or the round to just be heating up. And sometimes you need them seconds to kind of adjust to what's going on, and then maybe you could spend that second half of the round with an extra minute, get what I'm saying, really working. You know what I'm saying? After you figured your shit out, bro. It's like, but them 2-minute rounds, it's like it almost forced certain women to be overly aggressive when they don't have to be, when they could kind of fight at a, you know what I mean, more controlled, more poised pace. It's like it almost forced them to be amateurs, even though they're not amateurs no longer. Like it's a little weird. It forced the pace to be faster, and maybe they think that's good for TV because they just a lot of action, a lot of swinging, but you got to consider what's good for the actual sport too, not just from an action standpoint, like an entertainment standpoint. Like it would suit them women better if they had a little more time to work in there, and hopefully they reconsider that and change it at some time. But yeah, as far as Akhmadaliev go, he did his thing. He didn't look bad, but he just wasn't overly impressive to me. And his opponent, maybe some of that was due to the level of opponent he had, or the style of the opponent, or the mentality, or a little bit of all of that, because I just didn't walk away from that feeling like his opponent really had any. He ain't really bring nothing to the table besides a live body. Like he didn't really do anything particularly well. He didn't sustain. The small success that he did have, he wasn't able to sustain it, build off it, and it didn't amount to much because he wasn't able to win a round, in my opinion. And he just pretty much fought every round the same until Akhmadaliev just stepped on the gas and got him up out of there late. Toronto had to tell her hurt, maybe 3-minute rounds. She gets the finish. I think so too. And another thing too, where I think my bro Crush has spoke on it. Was it Crush or Knockout? Maybe they both spoke on it, but one of the bros spoke on it, and they said like she might have hurt herself in that fight because she was when she got her hurt, she was going balls to the walls instead of slowing it down and taking her time and trying to really get her out of there. And some of that could have been her just being anxious to try to get the finish. Or then again, like we just been speaking about, maybe the 2-minute rounds popped in the back of her head, and she know once you get her hurt, you ain't got so much time to work. So maybe that played a factor into how she went about, attacking Katie Taylor. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where she kind of fumbled at. That was one of the mistakes that she made. I was able to see because she almost punched herself out. She was a little gassed down the stretch, and I believe that from trying to get the finish. Whereas if she knows she had the extra time to work, maybe her approach is different when she get her hurt. Maybe she take her time a little bit more in there and actually get the finish. But they still put on a hell of a fight, man. That was a hell of a one. A hell of a women's undisputed fight for sure. Andre Jefferson, what's going on? How you feeling? A long time you made your way here. What's going on with you? Did you catch the fights last night? Oh yeah, I remember Kale speaking about that. OG Crush probably touched on it too, because he know what's up. Yeah, I think she shot her load a little bit when she hurts Katie Taylor in that fight, and it came back to hurt her because it allowed Taylor to kind of get her wits about her and get, come back in the fight. But I still kind of felt like I said, it was close. So I don't scream robbery because I know the difference between robberies and competitive fights where I felt like the judges just didn't get it right. Still felt like she should have got the nod, and she was basically home. How they give her the nod in Madison Square Garden, and I think it's safe to assume, or at least say or speculate, that you're not winning. You can't really win on the cards against Katie Taylor. You got to knock her out, It's kind of looking like that. It's looking like she had another close fight in her career with Delphine Persoon or something like that. I think her name was. That first fight was definitely very close, and she arguably lost. Yeah. That's pretty much what I was saying. And I think that's why I think it's time for them to start looking into the 3-minute rounds for these women, because I think that's a deciding factor on their approach and how the lack of pace that they show sometimes in the fight. Like, it's just balls to the wall. Like, that's how McCaskill. Now, maybe she just was going to do that anyway, because she like a buzzsaw in there. But I think if she had more time to work with, like, for instance, the 3-minute rounds, that extra minute, maybe her approach would be different. You know what I'm saying? And I think maybe she wouldn't have been so eager to try to stop her. She maybe would have took her time and actually been able to get the stoppage. You know what I'm saying? But she definitely shot herself in the foot a little bit when she heard it. She got a little eager, a little over anxious, and she tried too hard for the finish. She went looking for it instead of letting it come. And she threw a lot of punches in the process, and it allowed her. She slowed down because of it, and Katie Taylor was able to kind of get back in the fight. And she had her on skates for a minute, man, and it looked bad. And I'm just like, I was thinking she was gonna stop her, but man, salute to her for getting her wits back about her and finishing the fight on her feet. Heavy Bag, what's good, bro? How you feeling? Appreciate you flying through us. The percentage rate. Do you think Cool Boy will become undisputed at 122? And fighting ASAP. Cool Boy has an army route to the last 2 belts. Yeah, and we was just talking about that the other day too. And that's one of the questions. Like, is Cool Boy and Akhmadaliev next? Because he already said to Eddie Hearn, man, make the fight. And Eddie Hearn saying like that's something he want to do. But then again, when they asked Dude last night, he did. I just don't like that uncertainty. Don't when you a belt holder, a unified champion, and it's another champion in your division, I got the other 2 belts. We don't want to hear you'll fight anybody or whoever they put in front of you. Don't nobody want to hear that. You ain't necessarily got to call his name, but it's just only right. Well, what are you going to do? What are you in it for? You got 2 belts. Why don't you want the other 2? You fight the best guy in the division, which is Cool Boy, but he don't sound like he really want that. To me, it's like when they asked him about it, just didn't. Like I said, I don't want to hear you say you're going to fight. You're not young. You're not a prospect. You're not up and coming. You're a champion. I don't care if you only got, 11 fights. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? You call for the top dogs in your division, or it's going to look suspect. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he ain't sound like he really wanted. Arguably Chuck Taylor lost that fight to Persoon. that was on the A. Ruiz card. Yeah, I think you're right. Didn't see the fights last night. Oh yeah, you missed some good action. You had Raymond Ford. He from Jersey. He from out here, so he put on last night. He fought Richard Medina, who was 13-0. Both fighters undefeated, but Raymond Ford definitely was like 2 steps ahead of him all night. He outboxed him. His punch placement was on point. His punch selection was on point more so than anything. His timing and his defense. He showed his pedigree last night. Raymond Ford did. If you don't know who that is, check him out, because he definitely can fight. He had featherweight, so that's 126. So hopefully he'll get a good fight next, because you don't understand, that's his second undefeated opponent in a row that he fought, and he only getting better. What is he, about 22, I believe, 22, 23? So he young as hell, but he can fight his ass off, and he a southpaw, so he dangerous in there. He got respectable power. Not a big puncher or nothing like that, but he a hell of a boxer for sure. Yeah, but I think it's starting to get to the point. Katie Taylor, you got to knock her out. Yeah. From Jersey, he put on last night. Did his thing. Actually, I don't like MJ energy in that post-fight interview. I'm like, bro, undisputed is within reach. State your intentions and pursue that shit. The fuck you mean? You'll fight anybody. That's what I'm saying. You can't say that no more once you are a unified champion. You got 1 belt. You got 2 of them motherfuckers. Like, you go for greatness. Like, what else are you going to do? Because already, like I said, that opponent didn't offer you much. And I said it before the fight even, started. I say he in there with somebody that got experience, but that record is padded. If you go down Ronnie Rios' resume, he don't got no real quality, notable names on it. And I'm just like, he ain't gonna offer that dude much besides being a live body. And I think MJ, if he wasn't so, I don't know, I don't want to say lackluster, he just didn't look like he was in a rush to get him out of there. And I ain't saying he had to blitz him, but when you see your opponent is accepting the defeat before it even happened, like he accepted getting punched on. He didn't change nothing up. Rios made no adjustments. He fought every round pretty much the same way. And it's like MJ carried him. So instead of getting him out of it, so he kind of played with his food or allow him to hang around too long. And I think that lackadaisical kind of approach, you're not beating Cool Boy. That's why you ain't calling for it. They asked you. In a nutshell, that's pretty much what he said.
I think we should plan this another time. This nigga's scared.
That's how I feel. He might as well be, man. Think we should plan this another time. Cool Boy, Scooter. I don't want no Scooter. Nothing to do with no Scooter. That's what they asked him. When he said that, that's the first thing that popped in my head. The way I translated what he said he'd fight anybody.
I think we should plan this another time. This nigga's scared.
Man, if he was scared, because that's exactly what he was. I had that on store for his ass. Right for him, because he tripping. Remember, they have a portion of the title. Both fighters have 50% of the title, and not full China's facts. And that you really want to put your name in the history books and get your name there. Eddie don't. Somebody on that side is not eager to put MJ in the ring with Foden. And that's the thing. When Cool Boy said make the fight, Eddie Hearn basically had a response for it, like as if he had made it. You know that's staying in the cut. That's never coming out, like the brand section and the clip section. That's what it sounded like when he said that. If I fight anybody, I think we should plan this another. I think we should plan this another time. Nah, bro, you got two of them. If you don't get your ass in that ring, no Cool Boy wanted that fight. I knew he was gonna say something, because that ain't the performance that'll make me worry for Cool Boy. I didn't see nothing extraordinary, extraordinary in there. I think so too. He going out, and the thing is, I think he got outbox him if that's what dude want to do. If whatever Cool Boy want to do on the night, I think he'd be successful in doing it. If he want to box him, and he long, he want to box him, he could box him. If he turn it into a fight, if he he cut the distance and make it a fight, that's advantage Cool Boy as well. Yeah, too savvy, smart, and he polished, and his inside game has gotten better because of the two fights with Angelo Leo and Brandon Figueroa. So I'm very comfortable for him if the fight get in mid to close range, and I'm comfortable if he from the outside. I just don't see nothing real special about dude. He's solid. He's a good fighter, but I think that's just where the buck stopped. And maybe he know that, because that's why he ain't say I want the other champion, because I just didn't like that energy. You see Cool Boy already, like, man, make the fight happen. Like, soon as it ended, man, if you don't make this fight, I'll box him. He could beat him up on the inside, whatever he do wants. That's the same way I feel, whatever you want to do. And my question was, is that next? Because it's like, why wouldn't it be? What else is y'all going to do? It ain't nowhere else to go. It's nobody else to fight. You got to get in there with the best. That's what y'all all claim you in there for. So get in there with Cool Boy and let him get them belts up or vacate. I hope Cool Boy put some pressure on him too, and they don't allow him to go nowhere else. Don't allow him to go nowhere. You think Cool Boy would break even with the money? Oh, you saying because they both got belts? 50-50, like in terms of the money, because how would that play out? Well, I would say shit. Dude, I don't think never was a headliner, right? I don't think he ever headlined a card. Not sure Akhmadaliev, like co-main or shit like that. I don't know. Maybe Cool Boy might have an edge with the money, because didn't he was the headliner with him and Figueroa. Wouldn't that make some sense? I guess they got, I don't know. I would say whoever got more of a sales history would kind of play a factor, or maybe they'll just go 50-50. But I'm pretty sure whatever it is, they work that out. I'm pretty sure Cool Boy gonna be cool with that opportunity just to become undisputed and get his name in the history books. I just hope nobody tries to block it or get in the way of him becoming undisputed, because already it seemed like that's what they're doing to Shakur, and I don't like it. Even though you hear what Bob say, but it still it don't make sense. His energy for Undisputed is all great when it benefits Lomachenko, like somebody called Lomachenko was Bob's grandson, basically. Yeah, Undisputed, that's the whole purpose of being a champion. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to hear nothing about no mandatories and no voluntaries. Make the fight in facts, and Undisputed should trump any mandatory obligation anyway. And they know that, so we not trying to hear it, bro. Just get your ass in there and fight who you supposed to fight. Because other than that, you scared, bro. And that's just what it is. You shook. Are you looking scary? You just not confident. I don't want to say because y'all fighters, you've been doing it your whole life. I ain't, I don't think you spend your whole life in a sport to be scared. But I say he hesitant. He probably ain't ready to lose. Because I don't see why he would say you would fight anybody. That's not what people want to hear. You gotta give the people what they want to hear. And you hear these fighters always talking about it's about the fans. Well, if it's about the fans, I'm pretty sure you know what fight we want next, bro. We don't want to hear who you willing to fight. We want to know if you willing to fight Scooter. You know who Scooter is. Man, I would have loved to be the interviewer right there asking him the question. Do you know who Scooter is? Cool boy? Do you know him? Stephen Fulton. Do you want to fight him? We don't care about nothing else. Do you want to fight him? Bob, yeah, G5. Yeah, Bob, guys. For real. That's why I think the energy is different with him. And we was talking about that Cambosis situation too. Yeah, Scooter, man, he different, man. Different. Dude fought 9 undefeated opponents and beat them all. He ain't just fight them, he beat them, all of them. Taking belts off the champions, unified champion. And people be called, and they ready to call him overrated. That's the part that pissed me off, is they don't do no homework. He ain't just fight anybody. He actually challenging himself. In 20, he's 20-0, and out of them 20 fights, 9 of those people was undefeated. Damn near half of his resume was undefeated. And you telling me he ain't one of the better fighters in the sport? They crazy. They tripping. Facts. Scooter is good, and they know that. That's why his energy is like make the fight, dude. Like I'll fight anybody. Nah, man. Saying you'll fight anybody is like saying
This nigga's scared.
Yeah, that's exactly what I hear. You are shook, bro. Boss said, let your nuts hang. The promoters work for us, so we should see Top Rank actively pursuing Undisputed per Shakur's directive. Yeah, man, it might as well, but it's already concerning because I'm not so much mad at the Robson Conceição fight. Like, it's cool because I really felt like he beat Valdez and he should have had an opportunity to at least hold that belt for a little while. But I'll say at least he getting an opportunity this trip, and it's for 2 belts instead of 1. So, but I just don't think he got much of a shot at winning. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he decent. He's a good fighter for real. He's a good fighter. The only loss he got is the robbery against Valdez. But other than that, dude just did everything he's supposed to do, and their records will be damn near identical. Shit, it's Shakur and Conceição. He's 17-1, I believe, and then in his last fight, he fought another undefeated opponent. That's how you know they be trying to get people beat. Because after robbing him against Valdez, you throw him in there with another undefeated opponent, Xavier Martinez, but he handled him and beat him convincingly. So now, look, just peep the play. Now they throwing Conceição. If he fights Shakur next, which that's what it looked like it's going to be at the Prudential Center. They said September. Is it the 23rd, I believe they said? It's September 23rd. That'll be his 3rd undefeated opponent in a row they throwing him in there with. Already signed a contract to fight that Scooter then. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's all I'm saying. Somebody obviously ain't confident. Top Rank, Aram doesn't support Undisputed, Chatty, and George Drac. Now that's a fact. And he say, like, when it's, at least when it pertains to everybody not named Lomachenko, if it's him, I feel like he gonna try to move mountains for that dude. But if it's somebody else, like, I don't think he wants Shakur to be undisputed. That's why he say stuff like undisputed is stupid. It don't make sense. Having all the belts don't mean nothing. He say a bunch of stupid stuff like it's a waste of time. Like, who is it a waste of time for? You're not the active fighter trying to, carve out your own legacy. So who are you? I think it's selfish to try to say that. Who are you to block the fighter from being great? And I do think that's the way it's supposed to work. I thought that was it, the promoters working for the fighters, but I did hear somebody else speak and say, even though it seemed like it should be that way, it's not that way. And they say the fighters work for the promoter type deal, and it definitely should be the promoters working for the fighter. All he do is drag narratives. If we can say Seattle fight for sure, he was supposed to be there instead of Valdez anyway. Facts, but after that, they should be chasing Undisputed publicly, according to what Bob said. Yeah, and I think, like, again, I'm not gonna knock the fight, but the timing of it is a little annoying, simply because you got Joe Cordina just coming off a big knockout win over Kenichi Ogawa in the second round. He dispatched him early, fast, quick, took his strap. You know what I'm saying? And him and Shakur already messaged each other back and forth. Basically, Shakur said, "Look, like we the best two in the division. Like, let's make it happen." And he said, "I'll go to England and make that fight." And dude, basically, like, he gonna take a little vacation and let's get back to it. And he even mentioned like Shakur in September. Then you got this kid that I never heard of until he spoke Shakur name, some kid named Archie Sharp, that's saying he lived rent-free in Shakur head, but I ain't never heard Shakur speak his name, so I don't even know what he's talking about. I asked him about a purse because this will be one of the excuses that people will make not to make the fight. Unfortunately, it's the one thing most people use to not make the fights. Nah, yeah, that's a fact. Now, I figured that's where you was going with it. It's all good. I figured that's why you was asking that, because but I feel like we as the people, we gotta eliminate that. Can't let them use that as a built-in excuse not to make one of the best possible fights or one of the biggest fights in any particular division. Man, Undisputed is just where it's at right now. We getting a lot of Undisputed action this year. Just going to find out when he hands vacation with Valdez. Yeah. I just hope with his team behind them, they able to get him exactly what he wants. Because one thing I like about Shakur is he vocal about what he wants. And I know, I think they try to sweeten this fight, not give him the Cordina fight, and kind of sweeten this deal by making it a homecoming for him. So it's like, who gonna complain about a homecoming? You get what I'm saying? And it's like, I think that's part of the reason why they made this fight be at home for him. Or maybe I don't know, but I just hope Cordina is next, and I hope he don't fight nobody in between and lose. Exactly. And, Bob Arum particularly, he tell fighters that they need to promote themselves. Like, what's the point of having your ass? You got the machine, top rank, Mr. CEO, chairman, whatever you are. You know what I mean? Yeah, facts. That's why Bob need to do and he got a lot of young talent right now that he need to make sure he do right by, because he got quite a few of them young up and comers over there, man. Tiger Johnsons, I believe you got Haven Brady over there. Berlinga ain't what he's supposed to be, but he got a lot of talent over there, man. Different weight classes too, so facts, bro. Shakur Cordina fought next in England. That shit would be hard. Yeah, it's a big fight. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the timing of it just makes sense. He coming off the biggest one of his career, like a big knockout. Why wouldn't you put him right in there with him next and let him get an additional title? Because Cordina is not messing with Shakur. He's gonna get beat up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't forget Nico Ali Walsh, yeah, man, who looked less like Ali grandson than Michelle Rivera is Muhammad Ali true grandson, because he looked just like him. That shit is spooky how Michelle Rivera looked like that, man. For real. Nico Ali Walsh. If you let Case Avoid say he gonna be one of the best in boxing, Case Avoid be killing me playing like that. Trolling. Nico Ali Walsh, man. He the real deal. I'm trying to tell y'all. But yeah, man, hopefully we get Cool Boy and Akhmadaliev next, because that's what need to happen. Like, nothing else need to happen in that division other than that fight. You know what I'm saying? Just hopefully they give him exactly what he wants and let him, like, It's gonna be a lot of undisputed champions if shit go the way they want it to go. I'm telling you, I don't know if they want that. I don't think they want that many undisputed champions at one time. You want to split the fighters? 100 years. Oh, get out of the sport already. Yeah, man. Bob, 90 years old out this joint. Is a quality talent, but enjoys playing with the talent. Always cash first. Yeah. And somebody said like he's financially ignorant. Like he only do things that benefit him financially, like over as opposed to it benefiting the fighter. And it's like, how much money do you need at this point? Because I'm pretty sure you're well off. And I'm not trying to hear you not. You've been in boxing for about 50 years, bro. You set. I'm pretty sure you set. Generation version of Floyd versus Hatton. As far as the energy, it seemed like Floyd was in England anyway, because they had the English fans deep in Vegas. Yeah, man. Yeah. I see where you're going with that. Yeah. And they could build that shit all the way up. I was definitely Shelton was good, bro. Appreciate you sliding through. I definitely was getting on him next, so hopefully that's the next up. MJ got a knockout in the 12th over Ronnie Rios, but dude just didn't offer much. He lost round after round after round. Didn't make any adjustments. Reminded me of how Canelo fought his last fight, but hopefully that's the next fight. But as far as Bam go, man, oh man, this young boy, man, he different, man. Young boy got a lot of skill with him, a lot, and that's what I was asking. What's next for him? The sky's the limit for Bam Rodriguez right now, man. And I don't know, man. That people saying pound for pound, I'm hearing the chatters. I don't think they're crazy for saying it now. If you just look at his last 2 wins, you know what I'm saying? And he moved up weight classes, taking on these back-to-back big challenges, man. And it's the way he beat Sor Rungvisai last night. Nah. I figured that's who he was talking about, St. Louis, Shakur and Cordina. I figured that's who he was talking about because England and, so I got you when you said the Floyd Hatton thing. He was talking about, England and USA type deal. That's what I'm saying. Bob got to make that, and you already got the fighters. That's what I'm saying. That's where it get confusing at. That's why you get conflicting reports and conflicting news sometimes. And while I'm on it, I want to specify. I don't think the content creators be wrong. It's just people get different bits of news at different times and they report on it at that time of, and then with boxing shit just changed from day to day so often. Like it could be this 1 minute and then it could be something else the next, and we just seen that with Jermell Charlo. 2 days after pretty much he just became undisputed, they issued a mandatory challenger, and Tim Tszyu said he had 30 days or whatever to make a decision. When it was 10 days into that, I think 20 days left, they announced the additional mandatory and said that one is supposed to supersede the one with Tim Tszyu. So they saying Charlo already signed off to fight this other dude, which I'm going to get his name for y'all. I had it before because they wanted somebody we never really heard of, but they were saying he's supposed to fight him over fighting Tim Tszyu and then fight Tim Tszyu. So that's crazy. They already was good, bro. I was so amazing. What's good with you, bro? How you feeling? Appreciate you for sliding through. I'm glad Bam, just like Better Biev in his last fight, showed footwork. Yes, all the narrative channels won't have nothing to go off. It's sad Estrada and Chocolatito, nice footwork as well. Yeah. His footwork was amazing, and that's what we spoke on before the fight. And I was already speaking on that in one of the lives, and the good bro knockout was speaking on it, the angles and stuff that Bam used, and his foot placement is amazing. Like the way he was able to just outmaneuver, like Sor Rungvisai couldn't do nothing with him. His feet were way too slow, and he was just like literally 2 steps behind all night. He landed none of that power that 43 knockouts that he had. He couldn't do nothing last night. He just got outmaneuvered, out-thought. He out-hustled them, outworked them. He ain't lose a round. He fought the perfect fight, in my opinion, Bam Rodriguez, man. He showed you a little bit of everything last night. Defense, angles, footwork, patience, poise, like punch placement. reflexes, like his timing, like it just you name it, he showed it last night. What's your thoughts on the undisputed champions dropping their title the next fight because of the sanctioning fees? In the early years of boxing champion had one sanctioning fee to pay. Yeah, I think unfortunately that now more so than back then is so much about money, and they cutting into a lot of what fighters are able to bring home because they want to be great and win these belts that don't do nothing but collect dust. Now, if the reason, if a fighter is dropping their titles and it's because of them sanctioning fees and they just like, yo, F it, I ain't trying to pay, I get it. But I say, man, if you're in a position where them sanctioning fees ain't gonna hurt you, even though they outrageous. Like I heard, what was it, 300 something K for one of them belts or something like that, something wild, 3% of the purse, whatever it was. I think that's bogus as hell right there, and that shit need to change. But I'd be in support of it. Like, somebody say the hell with it, I'm dropping these titles because I ain't trying to pay a bunch of sanctioning fees. Like, I can't be mad at them because everybody ain't gonna be with it. I'm saying that MJ would challenge Cool Boy STEPH, please. Your ass in there. That's why I want to see. He don't sound confident. Shout. He don't sound like he want to go in there, bro. He don't sound like he want to go in there. Then you'll fight anybody. You sound shook to me. Katie got the Canelo effect towards judges. Facts. Gotta knock her out. It's clear that you gotta knock her out. Charlotte was school Tim. Yeah, Tim too green, just like Brian Castano said. He's decent, but he ain't got enough for Charlo. I think he ain't ready. And I don't like to use the he ain't ready shit, but I know what he meant by in his terms. He just, in terms of skill level, you don't go to, and this is respect to Terrell Gausha, but you don't go to Terrell Gausha to, Jamel Charlo, in my opinion. But if that's what's in the cards for you, then go throw his ass in there. I say Charlo gonna smoke him anyway. He was put her banned for a couple years. Yeah, I've been watching for a few years too. He got so much better fast. Very nasty. Yeah, man. This dude, it's them angles, man. His foot placement is so underrated. That shit, and I'm telling you, his defense was crazy. Knowing where to have his hands to block these shots. Like, if you see the replays, Sor Rungvisai really was punching glove. Like, this dude boxed a perfect fight. Out everything. Yeah, just everything. That's the Crawford way. Yeah, and that's the way that be keeping us fans pissed off, the Crawford way. Leave us scratching our head and shit. Yeah, hell yeah, the numbers would be great. Yeah, it was 3%. Okay, cool. Yeah, and and I think they put a number, 300 some K. Like, come, are you crazy? What the hell wrong with y'all? For a belt? I just want to know, like, what I really want to know is who get paid. You get what I'm saying from these things? I just want to know exactly, like, person per person, who all get a cut of that 3%, man. That shit is bogus, man. And then they got to pay for all them fees. You're a champion. You got to pay the fees. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, you shouldn't have to pay all that. Be great. Belts collect dust. Yep, sledgehammer, powerful. That's what I'm saying. They just collecting dust. And they collecting your money. While they, you know what I'm saying? Like, hell with them. But I say, depending on the fighter and their financial situation, if it's something that they feel like is worth the sacrifice, then cool. Like, I deal with it on a fighter by fighter basis. Like, I support whatever the fighter want to do. If he want to continue to try to hold on to the belts and be great, I ain't mad at it. But if you drop the belts after getting them to avoid sanction fees, I'm not mad at that. Yeah, because that taxing shit is ridiculous that they don't. I just really want to know who the fuck get paid from that. Commentary. Yep, you already know. Like Raj Shakur's profile in the process. Yep. And it'll open up another another fan base. Like, here, it'll give them the opportunity to have some overseas fans or something. And that's why he says so quickly, like, I'll go over there and fight, because he know he'd do well. He used to traveling. He was an Olympian, so I'm pretty sure he used to it. And I know he'd do well. It's the sinking the SOG has been pushing that narrative, finding out where and who it receives. Yeah, because he been on it. I like when he starts speaking on that, even though they don't like it too much when SOG speak against their narrative pushing. But I'm glad he still know how to be a real one with all this fake stuff that be going on in boxing. But yeah, Bam Rodriguez, man, I'm hearing pound for pound, man. These last two performances was definitely impressive. The way he beat Carlos Quadras, moved in his division to fight him. And he went right after Sor Rungvisai, dominated him. I don't know, man. This kid is definitely need to be talked about more. And from 115 down, he definitely got to be the best fighter from 115 down. I know that might not sound like much, but he definitely is. Hands down. And what is he, 16 fights in? He only going to get better. It's crazy how much better this dude can actually get. Because he's 22 years old, which is ridiculous, man. 22 years old already, and he's stepping up to the plate like this. He's just a breath of fresh air. Bam is for boxing. He really is. Hopefully, more fighters take a page out of this book, man, and just be willing to make the best possible fights. He already talking about Chocolatito. Like, look where his mind is. Someone sanctioned body to win their belt just to pay them in victory. Sounds ludicrous at this point. Yeah, facts, it do. It sound bogus as hell. You seen the ESPN's remove several months? Yes, man. We could talk about it. ESPN, man. Now, I don't know who's exactly, like, we don't know who's pulling the strings, but just them as a whole. Whoever's making that list is doing boxing a disservice. It's a very poor representation of the sport. And they should be ashamed as a brand, especially somebody that as big as they are, that been in sports for as long as ESPN been in business. That's just utterly disrespectful to not just the fighters themselves, but boxing as a whole is disrespectful to the fans. It take politics to a whole nother level. And you straight up and down disrespecting people. And that's the kind of stuff that turn people away from the sport. Like when you just trying to tell us, you know what I mean? You trying to create a reality for us instead of allowing the story to be told as it's being told right now. Like allow what's to be. You know what I mean? Leave well enough alone pretty much, man. These dudes putting themselves in position time and time again to get the right to be called pound for pound. I just think it's time for them to either get rid of their list as a whole, stop updating it, don't ever come out with one, or put the right people on there. Now, how y'all gonna have two newly crowned undisputed champions? One of them undefeated, just 23 years old, just made history. And the other one, they both just made history in their own right. And you know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand. How do you go against that and not put them on the list? Even if you want to put them 9 and 10, it still shows some type of respect for them. But to remove them and not have them on there as a whole, you just disrespectful to them as individuals, their peers, boxing, the fans, everybody involved. It's amazing how boxing has evolved. Fighters picked up and moving around to the left and right, while boxers like Alma does. And we had more switch hitters like Crawford. Yeah, man. They the understanding. I think what's happening is some of these fighters you see in the product of what happened if you got more than a trainer, and by that I mean when I think you have starting to have a nice amount of teachers in the actual sport, and that's no slight to nobody before them, but I think that's what you're seeing. You're seeing people being more than trainers and actually teaching the sweet science, and you're seeing these fighters just being skilled a lot earlier in their careers. Like Bam with that little bit of fights, man, this dude is amazing to me, man. Like he got me really excited to see him fight another time. Like I really want to see. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I really want to see what he's gonna do next. That shit was impressive, and I tell you what, Robert Garcia, he got him one, man. He got him one. He could be happy about that because that's the kid that he said to fight anybody, and that's exactly who he is, and he a prime example of why you don't say somebody not ready. Because people will argue his last two fights he wasn't ready. And look how handily he beat the opponents. And look how much more experience dudes had over him. You know what I'm saying? Just beat Carlos Quadras, who was 39-4 with one draw, 27 KOs, man. He went in there, dropped him, and beat his ass in a 12-round fight. Then he turns around in his 16th fight and fights somebody that's 55-1. 50 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw with 43 knockouts. That man had more knockouts than he had knockouts and fights put together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, politics all the way in the way. That's why I feel like I'm small now, but in due time, I grow, and I definitely use my voice to push the right kind of narratives, because there are good narratives to push, and there's negative ones that need to be done away with, and they need to be out of the sport. Like I always say, one of the good narratives to push is support the fighter after they lose support the fighter win, lose, or draw, as long as that man or woman is behaving like a fighter, a champion or ex-champion, whatever the case, a contender, prospect. As long as that fighter is behaving like a real fighter inside and outside the ring, I say don't let a loss deter you from supporting that fighter. And I think it's necessary that fighters understand that we see it that way. You got people out there that's going to rock with you, win, lose, or draw. One loss is not going to determine if the people support you or not. You know what I'm saying? It's how you handle the loss, how you moving as a fighter, as an individual. And I think that's what's wrong with boxing too, man. Somebody lose one fight, then they off to the next one. It's kind of corny. That's why I don't call myself a fan, but a supporter. Because if you move like a fighter, I'm going to rock with you, win, lose, or draw. It don't matter. You can have 3-4 losses. If you know how to take your losses the same way you take your wins, you know how to behave inside and outside. You know what I mean? I always say you could move like a champion without having a belt. The belt don't make you the champion, man. It's the character of the fighter and the individual that makes the champion, yo. Because we see belt holders and title holders all the time. And then you got people that is true champions. I always say that you got your belt holders and your title holders, and then you got your real true champions. And those are the fighters that move inside and outside the ring accordingly. Ironically, based on ESPN, belts undisputed does mean shit. No Haney, no Mel, and pound for pound, fool the people some of the time. That's what I'm saying, and that's bad for boxing. They very irresponsible, and they got a whole machine pushing nonsense and false narratives, and just a bad representation of the sport. Like you're leaving off some of the biggest talent that you have in the sport, the more accomplished talent. Like you leaving out piece of history when you try to rewrite it by leaving people, not giving people they just do or they proper credit. That's why I say I a long time ago I stopped watching ESPN. It's been years now. I just refused to turn to it because it's like, and this is no slight to them, it just is what it is. If I don't like something, I just don't tune in. It's not to bash them, but they got too many false agendas and too many narratives, false narratives get pushed, and they got the money in the backing to do it, and they got the viewership to be able to do it. And I think that just goes to show you how irresponsible they are, and they take their viewership for granted because they more concerned with pushing a false narratives and false agendas instead of being real with the people that consume their content. I think that's where they go wrong. They've been around for so long. They've been screwing people over, so they just gonna keep doing it. And I think that's why it's important for us to highlight that our pound for pound list, and any of us as supporters of the sport, any of y'all in here right now that got a list, I would much more listen to your list and value your list and support it over anything that ESPN is pushing in terms of a pound for pound list, because they clearly shown an inability to be fair and real with their viewers. So I just think because of that, as a result, man, they're gonna have some people. Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of people still tune in because that's just what it is. People be programmed, and you got people like us that just ain't going for it. So I refuse to tune in to that channel because ain't talking about nothing that I really want to hear. Is Loma still in the pound for pound list over Haney? They remove Haney, what is it, Haney and Charlo, both of them off the list, I believe. Yeah, Loma's still up there. And I believe that's by design because when they try to force feed him, and this is just my opinion, it could go to a different way. If Kambosos activate his rematch clause, if that's true, and that's another fight that got to take place. Remember, they said 3-fight deal. You know what I mean? I was just talking with one of the bros earlier where he revealed that Bob Arum is making it seem like it's a 5-fight deal. But Team Haney is saying 3-fight deal. So I feel like in that 3-fight deal, if the second fight is going to be another Kambosos fight in Australia, I believe Haney is going to dog him again. And I truly believe if that third fight is going to be the final fight under that contract, if what Team Haney saying is valid, then I think they're going to slide Loma in there. And that's their reason for trying to make sure they keep him somewhere high on the pound-for-pound list. So when they slip him in there for an undisputed opportunity, people don't lose their shit. But, you know, we know what it is. We see the play. We see what time it is. Just imagine Devin Haney having a 16-2 record. I think that's what Loma got. I think that's his record. I don't even care if he had all knockouts in them 16 wins. Just think about if Devin Haney record was 16-2 right now. And they don't even want to put him on the list being undisputed, making history, being 23 years old, youngest to do it. They don't even care about that. So just imagine if he had 2 losses. Even 1, let alone 2. Just imagine. You take Devin Haney's record, you get at the Lomachenko and give Loma's record to Dev and see if Dev is even in this conversation. At least when it comes to them, he wouldn't be. But I've heard people say Lomachenko losses don't matter. He's still supposed to be on the pound-for-pound list. But then when you ask him to explain it, or at least, you know, just elaborate on why you feel so strongly about him, why he should be there, then they slide the goalpost somewhere else, or they start talking something else, or they get defensive. Now we need some straightening as to why you feel like this man losses don't matter. I'm trying to understand this. Since when? I ain't saying now write him off because he lost, but you can't have him on no pound-for-pound list over Devin Haney, somebody that, you know, just became undisputed, something he had an opportunity to do, but he didn't. He accepted a franchise title, vacated his WBC title to avoid top smoke. And now as a result, he got to try to fit himself in at the back end of his contract, hoping that his grandfather, Bob, going to get him to fight with Devin Haney. Because I'm telling you right now, if they want to get him beat. They already lowballed him. So they got half of what they wanted. They ain't have to pay for a fight of that magnitude. Bob ain't really have to come out of pocket too much. Dev got bullshit money. And I ain't gotta put Loma in this situation to give him bullshit money. I'm not gonna do that to my grandson, but I'm gonna do it to Devin Haney. And being that he already went on record for saying that he accepted his low ball offer, we definitely gonna give it to him. Not only is we gonna give it to him, we gonna make him fight in Australia with a one-way rematch clause, saying if he win, he got to take his ass back over here and fight again. You know what I'm saying? With bullshit money on the table, with the hopes that he could potentially lose, and how that would benefit. How before people, you know, lose their mind, or I know the family won't, but before people question why would Devin Haney losing benefit Bob Arum? Because who do we love? Who do we push? Who do he try to put in the same breath as Muhammad Ali? That's Lomachenko. Who did he? You know, who did they have a conversation about saying that he had beat Pretty Boy Floyd in his prime? Lomachenko. So if he could get Devin Haney, which is not one of his fighters, he just doing business with him right now because he wanted greatness. If I can give him bullshit money and potentially get him beat, if I get him beat with bullshit money now, I can slide my grandson in with Kambosos. Trust and believe, if hell was to freeze over and Kambosos was to actually beat Devin Haney, who y'all think would be who you think would be the next up in line for undisputed? You think he ain't gonna get his grandson Loma that chance? Hell yeah, he gonna get him the chance. Hit the canvas and all, and they try to write Haney off just for getting hit clean. Facts, and they try to erase Loma loss. They try to make it seem like he was undefeated against Teofimo. They bogus. They erase losses. Like they try to Mandela effect you right in your face and make you feel like some shit that didn't happen when we all watched it happen. And bias indirectly exposes the unnecessary acclamation of belts. Yup. Canelo had undisputed based on uninspired opposition, while Mel had to constantly fight 50-50 opposition fights. He can lose. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. I mean, that's why I think sometimes that argument be coming up. You got people that feel like, F undisputed. I know all roads that undisputed ain't created equal. You know what I mean? But the ones that really did it the right way, you got to know which ones did it the right way and which ones did it because they were privileged to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's you see a clear separation when you think of Mel Charlo rode the Undisputed. You know what I'm saying? He done suffered a draw, had to come back from that, got a knockout in the rematch. He done suffered a loss, came back to avenge that loss by knockout, then suffered a draw, came back to avenge that draw by knockout. Like his road to Undisputed been real. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, another one has been able to handpick and kind of allow timing, if you will, timing and the way they're pushing a certain fighter to get him, and him being privileged to get him the opportunity to be undisputed. And you know, the only real gripe that I have with David Benavidez is not that he lost his title once, but he lost it twice. You get what I'm saying? I truly believe had he not lost his title from the beginning, or definitely the second time around, who in here think Canelo would have been undisputed right now? If David Benavidez didn't lose his title for the second time. Point based on male fault, he demands respect for harder op. Canelo faced easy op, easy way to accumulate belts. Facts. Belts can be arranged. No talent, either you have it or not. That's a fact. That's a fact. You can manufacture your greatness and the talent. You can manufacture, but you there's no real getting out of not being that. You know what I'm saying? Sooner or later, like, you're gonna be exploited and exposed. Boxing will expose you, man. It will. And I think we got a little bit of that when we seen Bivol and Canelo. Your decision making and your hand picking of opponents. If people think cherry pick is too much of a reach, all right, fine. I could say your hand picking and your careful selection of opponents has finally caught up to you and it's backfired. You're not getting no younger. You're only getting older. It's more wear and tear, more miles on the body. You know what I mean? More wear and tear, like I said, and Father Time come knocking at Father Time. It's real. Father Time might be at his door and Triple G's. They might be right at Triple G doorstep with 1 foot in, and they at least at Canelo porch. Father Time is at least sitting on Canelo porch right now. At least sitting on the porch right now. Gotta be. I keep hearing shit about his elbows, his knees. The man came in with a fucking D-Rose sleeve on his knee in one of the fights. I could have swore. Like, I think it's real to say Father Time is knocking right at Triple G door. Probably got the door cracked with 1 foot halfway in at this point, or halfway. You know what I'm saying? And Father Time is at least sitting on Canelo porch right now. Gots to be. Real that he was injured versus Bivol. Yeah, you hear that? And you know why I be taking these injuries after the fight, after a loss, with a grain of salt? Because it makes me wonder, like, who in here think he would have said something about an injury had he won? See what I'm saying? And it's like, to my understanding, I think don't they fill out paperwork and don't they answer questions like because I believe they spoke on this when Pacquiao was trying to pull this shit with the shoulder. And they were saying they asked you, like, before the fight, do you have any pre-existing or injuries or some shit like that? And I guess you could check yes or no. And they were saying how he checked no, obviously, but then you're going to go fight and now you lose. Now all of a sudden I'm heard, yeah, he had a D-Rose sleeve and shit on his fucking knee. Like, what the hell, boy? Then when he be training in the gym, he be having that same shit Gronkowski wore on his elbow. Canelo gonna have that shit on his knee soon, I'm telling you. That same fucking big ass robot brace that Gronkowski had for that elbow, Canelo gonna probably have one of them shits on his knees and elbow at one point. Man, Father Time real. That boy sick. That man 61 fights and he been pro since 15 years old. It's just real. It's like imagine all the training camps, all the sparring, all the miles, all the running. You know what I'm saying? Just think. And then he get cocky sometimes and want to spar with no headgear and shit. Just think. I think Father Time, man, is sitting on his porch, man. Father Time sitting on his porch smoking one right now. And when they done smoking one, he gonna be knocking at his door. You know what I'm saying? For Triple G, Father Time already knocked at the door, and I believe a foot is halfway in there. You know what I'm saying? When we see this fight next, we're gonna see just how much closer Father Time is to being right on Triple G back. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's real. And I might sound like I'm joking, but Canelo at least got Father Time sitting on his porch smoking one at least. You know what I'm saying? It's real. You're gonna have to answer some questions soon. And I've been hearing the whispers about his knees and his elbows for years now. And it just begs the question, like how much of a real possibility is that for Canelo? Like I said, man, because you can't turn back the hands of time. Can't turn back the hands of time. Yeah, man. I want to know what's next for Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Is he pound for pound at the last night's KO over Sor Rungvisai? Shit, with the pound for pound list that I've been seeing coming out, I don't think it's bad at all if he cracked the list at 10. I really don't. He might be higher than that for some people, but for me, respectfully, with some of the bogus stuff that I've seen in lists, like I've even seen a list where somebody had Cool Boy at their number one for pound, and I ain't even mad because his immediate like response was like, "Who else fought 9 undefeated opponents?" And I'm like, man, it's a good question, but it's all what you basing it off. Are you basing it off skill or resume though? And from what I understand, I think the good brother Kano said, that pound for pound list is based off skill. How it always been, I guess. And skill for skill. Like that's why I have a problem when people have Inoue at number 3 or 4, wherever he be high as hell on that list, 4 or some shit like that. Be having that dude over Errol Spence. That shit is crazy to me. He said Cinnamon took a pic in the hospital. Yeah, man. Yeah, he probably slipped and fell being drunk serenading his girl. He get drunk and sing now, karaoke nights and shit Canelo be having. People say you want to work with me. How? Yeah, Newey at 4 is ridiculous. It's preposterous. What's the word? It's outrageous. Outrageous. And that's why I stopped being mad at their list and I started to just understand that they have to have people that either are not fully in tune and not really in tune with the sport, don't really care about it for real, or people are just really blind and blatantly just cool with pushing their narratives and nothing more. Y'all's list is more accurate than ESPN or Ring Mag. That's what I'm saying. So I ain't mad. That's what I've been saying lately, Johnny. That's what I've been saying, bro. Like, fuck it. Stock Canelo was simply school. Yeah, he was. Simply school. Got his ass beat. You talking about the Beaver fight? Yeah, we all in agreement to that. He was losing that fight regardless. But I will say, I still do think it's realistic that the wear and tear that he's been putting on his body through the years is real. I keep hearing his knees shot. And like I said, you don't wear no D Rose brace for style, for sure, for damn sure. But either way, I think he would have lost based on his approach and how he looked. He looked shitty. He looked flat. He ain't make no adjustments really. He got took to school from beginning to the end. I think he thought he had a cherry. And like I said, for the people that get mad when I say cherry pick going wrong, well, if he ain't call him a cherry pick, like I said, I'm pretty sure when him and his team was selecting Dimitri Bivol, the word inexperience came up several times. Because I'm pretty sure that's what helped them factor in him ultimately going up there to fight him. Thought they was going to catch a young, inexperienced guy. And they was going to be able to use his power and experience to win the fight. And that shit was so far from reality. And he had to learn it the hard way. And by the time he realized what was going on, he's already getting his ass beat. I enjoyed that, man. That's I'm sorry. And I ain't no hater. It's just when you hand picking your opponents and you not giving the fans the stuff they want to see, like it's like karma in a sense. Like you got what you should have got. You know what I'm saying? You should have just gave people the fans the fights they wanted, and you wouldn't have had to worry about that. So him losing is always going to be funny to me. Like I was just saying, Canelo pulled a Pac-Man after Floyd dominated him. Yeah, try to say he was hurt. Yeah, yeah. Get your ass out. Remember he held with salt water too, Pacquiao ass. He terrible, man. Yeah, but man, seeing Canelo lose, it was overdue. You got some gifts. You got a gift against Lara. That man landed 23 headshots the whole fight on the Lara fight, and he still beat him. How he got a decision out is beyond me. First Triple G fight should have been a fucking loss. That Austin Trout fight was definitely close. That open scoring was weak as hell. It was somebody else that thought Canelo losing was funny too.
Happy Mother's Day. But did you see Canelo Alvarez lose? Trash. Oh yeah, you were running from Earl. Yeah, you were running from the Charlo boys too. Thought you were gonna run all the way up. But no, that Russian had something for your red rooster face ass. Happy Mother's Day. But did you see Canelo Alvarez lose? Trash. Oh yeah, you were running from Earl. Yeah, you were running from the Charlo boys too. Thought you were gonna run all the way up. But no, that Russian had something for your red rooster face ass. Do you hear me? Oh, you can do this to Floyd. Never. Floyd the greatest and always will be. Happy Mother's Day. Canelo lost on Cinco de Mayo. What a shame.
Yeah, that's a funny dude, yo. I'm never taking that out, yo, because he crazy, yo. God damn. I said, that's what you know is real. The comedians tuning into the fights, man, they be on. He did one with Rolly, too. I'm going to get that up here, too. I'm going to get that clip. He did Rolly, too, man. Goodness, man. Them shits be having me crying, man. Hold on. I thought I had one in here with Rolly getting beat the hell up, but nah, it ain't that one.
A little distraction there. The mom dancing.
Wow, Davis is like looking at the crowd talking. It's an interesting vibe from him right now.
That's how we talking to everybody from now on when they come crazy. Shut your ass up. You know what I'm saying? How Tank was on it. And Canelo, the latest on Canelo is he's saying he more dangerous after the Bevo loss. How, bro? How? He must have got him a new connect on that meat that he been eating. As I say, after that Bevo loss, Canelo done changed his number. He done changed the locks on the gym. Like, just think about what I'm saying. After the loss, you start hearing people leaving the camp. This one going this way. Andy Ruiz leaving. Ryan Garcia leaving. That boy lost. He changed his number, the locks on the gym. They got to call his assistant to get to him. Canelo went straight from talking English this whole build up to this fight to getting his ass beaten in the post-fight presser. He was so salty when they asked him a question. That boy looked over at the translator and spoke in all Spanish, yo. That man's so mad he ain't even speaking in English no more. You know that shit personal. He like, man, that's it. He ain't rocking with us no more, man. He like we did it. Canelo mad at us like we did it. Ain't nobody tell you to go up there to bother that man. Nobody asked you to go bother Dimitri Bivol. He was peacefully minding his own business at light heavyweight, worrying about his own self. You go up there and bother that man. Get your ass beat. Now you mad at us like we did it. He don't even want to kick it with us no more. He ain't speaking no more. What happened to I was born ready and all that shit. Like, they ain't even speaking to us no more. Niggas salty as shit right now. Everybody leaving the camp. Andy Ruiz looked like he on some type of slim fast diet.
No push-ups.
That better be hard work and dedication. I'm telling you. That better not be nothing else, Andy, because you tripping. And I heard you push your fight back talking about your hand hurt. You need 3 weeks or whatever the hell going on. I can see where Ghost at because he said something about another injury this dude's supposed to have. And speaking of juice, man, did you see I don't know, y'all probably didn't catch it. A Big Baby Miller just had a fight what was it, a couple days ago? He looked like stir-fry shit. He off the roids. He don't look good at all. And he fought a journeyman, 11-7 record, and he got a unanimous decision, but he did not look good. He looked bad. He gonna be a gatekeeper or something soon. No speaking English in his boo ramp. That's what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? So now all that time he been speaking English, bro. He get beat up by Beevil. Now all of a sudden they asking him the same type of shit they been asking him. Man, he don't know what they saying. He looking over at the translator. I said, this dude crazy. Ruiz, I got Ortiz, man. I got Ortiz winning. I know he old and Father Time probably halfway in or in the house with him at least, but I think even where he at, he still could be Andy, because Andy I don't trust Andy from a discipline standpoint. He can fight, but he's just not a disciplined fighter. And I see he's small as hell. That's the smallest I ever seen him look. I don't know. He look like he trying to drop down to light heavyweight or something. Cruiserweight. I don't know what the hell Andy on. You know what I'm saying? So, Jai, what'd you say? What's that, D-Free? Yeah, I got Ortiz beating him. I ain't like the way Ruiz looked against Chris Arreola. I think that was right. Dropped him, had him looking look shaky. Even though Ortiz had some shaky moments in his fight for sure with Charles Martin. But Charles Martin, a big dude, he could punch. And he shook it off and still got the win. And I hear Ortiz is in real good shape. So facts. Big Baby, yeah, man. But you know what, D-Free is disappointing because I really wanted to see him challenge Joshua. I thought he had a chance to like bully him a little bit and like pull it off or something. I thought he had a chance to be able to do that. But now, nah, he looked like, to me, like what I seen, like I hope it's just because he been out of the ring that long. But to me, it's just like you could see a clear difference in his body. He big as hell now. He came in at like 340. He looked bad, man. 11-7. That shit just didn't look good. And he don't look like he throw as many punches as he was early in his career. Like before he got caught up with that juice. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I don't like how Buddy looking, man. Buddy ain't looking too good. I got you, D-Free. Buddy ain't looking too good in there, man. And that's disappointing because he messed up a what? What he had a $7 million payday on the table for AJ and blew it all over roids. That's probably why he pushed AJ so hard. This dude, roid raging. You saying AJ doing all this shit, you the one, Juice. And he had a few different substances, I believe, in his system at that. It wasn't one. He had a couple, few. Dude was tripping the hell out. D-Free was good with you, bro. What's good, bro? Yeah, he looked like stir-fried shit, man. And him being off the juice, you can see his body. His body looked crazy.
Yeah, I was never big on Big Baby Miller. I told everybody Big Baby Miller was overrated. Everybody was giving him all this props. He might be the next heavyweight to challenge Deontay Wilder. I'm like, that nigga is overrated. Yeah, I don't know what y'all seeing.
I always thought Wilder would have sparked him, but I liked his work rate and his activity. That's what I liked about him. I'm like, yo, this dude, he really if he be that big, he throw a lot of punches. But man, now we know why.
That's because he was on that juice.
Juice to the gills, man. I said, man, this dude like discipline, Big Baby has heart, but not. Yeah, man. And then I even question the heart because how confident are you? When you got all them substances in your system, you pointing the finger at Joshua the whole time it's you. I couldn't believe he blew that opportunity like that.
So even if you out of the ring that motherfucker long, you out the ring. What he was out the ring for like 2 years, something like that. 3. Even if you out the ring that long, you know you trying to work your way back into getting in the ring. Why not be in shape? You got 2 years of being in shape. You off the juice, and you getting your stamina up, you getting your work rate up, and all that. You got 2 years to get that shit up. I'm like, some people just they not what everybody claim they are. There's a lot of stuff is undercover, and then once the shit comes out, then you like, okay, now he's not off the juice. Let's see how he is. Just like Canelo. His ass off that motherfucker juice, and the nigga looked average. He got in there with Bivol and looked average.
And he might have had about 3 years out.
Was 3 years out?
What was good with you? I think I'm gonna go to it and look. Matter of fact, while we talking about, he had a minute out the ring too, and that's what I'm saying. What was you doing the entire time? Eating cheeseburgers, bro? Like for
that's
real?
What I'm saying. You should have been getting your body in shape and getting your endurance up, getting your work rate up. So when you come back, you look brand new, like a whole fresh nigga. You ain't taking no punishment.
No.
You could be sitting there getting your body up, looking like a fresh prospect coming back to the ring.
Yep. Dude is what was this? Last time he was in the ring was 2018.
Yeah, so almost 4 years. It was almost 4 years.
3.5. Yeah, and some almost closer to 4. Yeah. Boys throwing punches like a featherweight punches. Yeah, right. Oh, you caught him? Did you see any of that highlights? That shit just didn't look good. He looked bad. 11-7 opponent he fought.
Yeah, so I'm like, you've been out of the ring almost 4 years, and you trying to tell me that's how you come back to the ring? They're like, I don't even care about the ring rust. The ring rust has nothing to do with your stamina and how you look. You can have ring rust where you can't judge the distance and all that stuff.
Yep.
That's
Your
ring
timing
rust.
is off, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's ring rust. But you looking sloppy and ain't got no stamina, that ain't ring rust. That's you out of shape.
Just was a dude that didn't get tired. That was one of your most impressive attributes, your gas tank to be that big. Now you clearly fatiguing early in fights, and it just don't look good. You look like a shell of yourself without even losing. He looked bad. That's crazy.
Right.
Ruined his career.
And I know that's what people going to say. They're like, oh, that was ring rust. No. There's two different things. You got ring rust and you got out of shape. There's two different things. That is not the same thing.
There you got ring rust and roids off the juice body. He got that off the juice body.
Yep.
Telling you, now I gotta do it natural, and it don't look right. It don't feel right. He ain't confident. He don't look confident the same way. He already wasn't the biggest puncher on the juice. Now he really looked just extra average, just big as hell. It's just a matter of time. He gonna be a sitting duck for somebody. He getting there with Wilder. Wilder gonna end his life. He gonna fight for another fight.
Like I said, I always, anytime somebody get caught on the juice and then they come back and they look average, you gotta look at their career differently. You can't look at their career the same way, because when they come off the juice and they look average, you be like, oh, was it the juice the whole time?
Yo, I'm telling you. That's what it looked like with him.
I'm like, I don't know. That's why I don't respect nobody that's using PEDs or anything to give them an enhancement in the ring. If you get caught using that shit,
AB was good, bro.
You definitely would not be on my top 10.
Hell no, you can't even be on the list, man. That shit just, and you a heavyweight cheat.
And people was trying to make a case for Canelo. They were like, well, he only got caught one time. I'm like, no, I don't see what y'all see so special about Canelo. He don't have footwork. He got good upper body movement. That's it.
Yeah. Slow feet.
That's all he got.
Yeah. Slow feet with good upper body movement. Like, he got some good head movement. He adapted. He learned that. I give him that, but his feet don't catch up to him, man. He's slow-footed. He making minimal adjustments, and he looking even more limited, especially in that Bivol fight. Even the way he was moving looked funny. Him getting put on the ground, like, you know what I'm saying? He looked less of himself. That's what making me think it's a possibility that this Triple G trilogy could be a little more competitive than what people might think. He might not knock Triple G out. Triple G fuck around and spark his ass. Because, again, remember, he playing with his weight. And
that's what I've been trying to tell y'all. That's what I've been
what
trying
happened
to
to
tell
Roy.
y'all.
It happened to Roy. Look what happened to Abraham Nova, shrinking down, going to a smaller weight. You got clinked up with one shot. It wasn't just because you got knocked out. Is what led to it. It was one shot. You weren't getting your ass beat before that, and you got hit with one shot. It was a chart showing like weight fluctuation, and it was breaking down when certain fighters be going up in weight and getting buzzed for the first time, or you know what I mean. The times where they jump in weight or going down, they either get buzzed, dropped, or possibly knocked out. That shit was crazy. It made perfect sense.
That's what I've been trying to tell everybody. After that Bivol fight, I told everybody, I came right on T Live, and I said, if Canelo come in the ring looking like that, he's going to fuck around and get knocked out versus Triple G. He's going to fuck around and get knocked out because his punch resistance did not look like it was there.
Nope.
He didn't like. He had no punch resistance.
And he lucky Bivol wasn't no devastating puncher or nothing like that. Cause man, that shit saved him. I swear, I think it did. That shit saved him.
Yeah, because if that was Arthur Beterbiev,
yeah,
Canelo probably still be asleep.
I'm telling you, he'd have fucked him up. He'd have took a long. He'd have fought Arthur Beterbiev. It's a good chance he wouldn't have been having no September 17th fight right now. I'm telling you, that shit would have got pushed back or something. He'd have needed some time off. I'm dead serious. I know he would have needed some time off.
That shit would have got canceled indefinitely.
Yo, I'm telling you. That boy crazy, man.
That's what I keep trying to tell. I'm like, y'all giving Canelo the benefit of the doubt. Y'all giving Canelo the benefit of the doubt. But y'all tell me what skill set does he have that is so great? That's why he didn't fight none of these guys in their prime. The last person he fought in their prime was fucking, well, I ain't gonna say the last person. The person that he fought in their prime, which was motherfucking Floyd Mayweather. He was at the end of his prime, but he still was in his prime. And Lara. Both of those fights he lost.
Yeah.
They gave him a nod for the Lara fight, but he lost both those fights. And he hasn't fought nobody in their prime since until he fought Bivol. And he thought because he only had 19 fights or 18 fights, it was going to be a easy fight. No. It's better than what you thought he was.
Yeah. He had plans for your ass. He did not go with the plan. He did not come in there to lay down. That boy came in there to win from the opening bell. He wasn't playing with that boy.
Anytime you turn down $15 million to fight two motherfuckers, one of them you said you was never going to fight again, and the other one was supposed to be quote unquote green. You turned down $15 million to fight those two, man. That was a cherry pick. You didn't want to fight David Benavidez. You didn't want to fight Jamal Charlo. You didn't want to fight those guys.
Yeah, it's only so much ducking and hiding you gonna do. It's crazy. I wish Triple G would have just not been with this rematch, because it would have been real interesting to see where he go if Triple G would have been like, you know what? Nah, I'm good at 60. I don't want to fight him, even though I know he not, because he want that revenge so bad.
Oh,
he want his get back.
I'm telling y'all, the look that I saw when they had that face off, Triple G looked more confident than Canelo did.
He did. Canelo looked like he was overcompensating. He was trying too hard to look tough, and we could clearly see it. Triple G had that face like, man, chill the fuck out. Like, we ain't do this shit twice already. If you don't get your ass out of here, like looking at me all hard gonna change something. Like Triple G had that face like, man, get your ass on.
Did y'all see when they turned and faced forward? Canelo was still looking at him. Triple G was still looking at him. Then Triple G turned and looked at the camera and pointed at him like, man, this motherfucker right here.
I think Canelo might have broke the stare first too. He did all that just to turn a little bit first. Gennady turned second, I think, too. And then somebody was like pointing at the camera or some shit. They pointed.
Yeah, all I know is that nigga, he pointed at Canelo like, man, this motherfucker right here, man, get the fuck out of here with this shit. I'm telling you, y'all sleep on Triple G if y'all want to. Yeah, Triple G, he still hit hard. And the last time I checked, he was catching Canelo with some big shots. was catching Canelo with some big shots. And like I said, if his punch resistance is the same as it was when he fought Bivol, he gonna fuck around and go to sleep.
Exactly. Telling you, man, he gonna I think this fight gonna end up being closer than what people think.
And I'm almost certain if he get knocked out versus Triple G, Canelo will retire.
Yeah,
I'm almost certain of that.
Yeah, his ass ain't no way in hell he gonna want to come back. Or he gonna go on a European tour again. He gonna start that up again.
What European tour? Ain't no more Europeans he can fight.
He's gonna find somebody. John Ryder. Don't forget John Ryder's still out there. You know he'll fight John Ryder.
Hey,
I heard
you remember what happened to Roy Jones when he got knocked out against Antonio Tarver? The very next fight, he had a fight with Glenn, and Glenn knocked his ass out.
Knocked him out, yeah.
So once you get knocked out, you acceptable to getting knocked out again.
Yeah.
So, when I saw a motherfucker John Ryder fight Daniel Jacobs, John Ryder didn't look like it was an easy win for him. I mean, easy walk through the park. He looked like he gonna come in there and try to fight. Oh, y'all motherfuckers think I'm just some motherfucking gatekeeper? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Come on in this motherfucking ring if you want to.
Come here and get your ass beat.
That's what happened with Roy Jones. He thought he was going to get in there with Glenn. Glenn was supposed to be a motherfucker gatekeeper. And fuck around. And Glenn caught his ass with an overhand. Ass out. So, like I said, man, I'm putting money down on Triple G knockout. I'm telling y'all, I'm putting money down. It ain't gonna be a lot of money, but it's gonna be some money. It's gonna be some money.
I don't even think that's a bad bet at this point.
I'm telling y'all gonna be sitting there like, damn, this nigga Dwayne called that shit. I said it with the Bivol fight. I said, don't be surprised if Bivol beat Canelo.
And was making me think about it being closer because of their last performances. One of them looked more vulnerable than the other. They both ain't looked too particularly good, and that's why I said Father Time at this point is at least sitting on Triple G porch right now, smoking one. Like, or should I say, matter of fact, it's at his door with one foot in, and Father Time is at least sitting on Canelo porch, yo. That wear and tear is real, yo.
I'm picking a knockout either way, but I'm putting money on both of them. I'm putting money on both a knockout either way, but the Triple G knockout is gonna be a bigger underdog because everybody gonna think because Canelo beat him the first time. I mean, Canelo got the draw, and then Canelo beat him the second time. They're gonna figure that Canelo is gonna beat Triple G. So Triple G knocking out Canelo is gonna be a bigger underdog than Canelo knocking out Triple G.
Yeah.
I'm putting money on both of them, but I believe I don't know what it is. I saw it with the Bivol fight. I don't know, y'all.
Yeah, Usyk the favorite because they know. I think Joshua in trouble in that rematch.
Oh man, Joshua's gonna fuck around and get stopped. I wouldn't be surprised of that neither. I would not be surprised if Joshua go in there and get stopped because he's gonna go in there. I already know he's gonna go in there and try to bully Usyk. And he don't realize how good of a boxing ability Usyk has. He gonna think he could just bulldoze Usyk and catch his ass on his chin. We already know Joshua do not have a chin. He don't have a chin.
Nope. This the one. Yeah, he the favorite because they know he got the boxing skill over Joshua. He ain't looking like destructive like that no more. Even with the Ruiz rematch, that was a decision. He turned into a boxer for that fight, and that mentality carried over in the Usyk fight. He got beat up trying to box a boxer. Yeah, he almost got stopped. In one of the rounds, they took the time off the clock and ended the round early to save him because he was tired. I couldn't believe they did that shit. That shit was crazy. I'm like, oh, they do wild shit for Anthony Joshua.
That was the 12th round, I believe. It was like 10 seconds left in the 12th round. and they cut the clock off and rung the bell.
It was crazy. I remember they let him call like his own timeout. I think his tape was untied, and they pointed at his tape and just walked like to his corner. They just let him do. I'm like, yo, the ref got to stop the action, not you.
Right.
He called his own timeout.
Like I would not be surprised if Usyk knock out Joshua. Actually, I believe Usyk's going to stop Joshua. I believe Usyk's going to stop Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
Usyk ain't like motherfucking Andy Ruiz. He's not going to come in that motherfucker out of shape and all happy because he beat him the first time. No. He going to come in and let y'all know this wasn't a fluke. He is not better than me. Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. I think they better realize the possibility that, or understand the possibility that Usyk could do even better. The second time, he's seen you for 12 rounds. You thinking, that's why I say, man, sometimes I know you got to focus on you as a fighter, but people be too much talking about the adjustments Joshua can make. Don't forget, man, Usyk is a more creative fighter, a smarter fighter. He can make adjustments too. He fuck around, could put more hurting on this dude this trip, man. It'd be crazy because dude don't got the best chin. Joshua don't. He don't.
That's what a lot of people not taking into account, that Usyk has more in his daggone tool bag than Joshua do. He got more in his tool. So we saw the boxing Usyk. You're gonna fuck around and see the boxer punch the Usyk in this next fight.
Yo, I'm telling you, one thing I did appreciate that Joshua was saying is the way he was breaking down how he lost, like in terms of what the rounds was, like in his mind. And he like, you know, he fell a few rounds short of pulling off a win fighting like Usyk. It's some shit he was breaking it down. Made a lot of sense, like trying to box this dude. He was like, you know, I just make some adjustments and kind of like change shit up. And I win a couple more rounds, I win this fight. Like, so if I go in this fight doing what I do and not what he do, my chances, I forget the way he explained it, man, but it made a lot of sense. I was like, sound like your mentality is somewhat in the right spot. But again, it leave you asking yourself, do you really know what your identity is? Are you going to come in here and try to box, or are you coming in here to try to hurt them? And it's like, it's crazy because I think boxing them, you're going to get the similar result. You're going to get beat up. And I even think you trying to hurt them could put you in the, you know, right in the fire to get beat up again. So it's like, but I still think your best bet is to try to hurt that dude. You cannot outbox him. Now, I hope people understand what I mean when I say that. You can't outbox that dude, yo. You're not going to outbox him.
And what people don't take into account is Usyk know he almost stopped Joshua. So he's like, hold up. I almost stopped him last time. If I had a little more time, I could have possibly knocked him out. So now Usyk going to be like, okay, let me hit him with these big shots early. So I know in the later rounds, he's going to be right there for me to knock his ass out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, he there for the taking, man.
I mean,
damage good.
Even if Joshua wins, say Joshua win this fight, who y'all think he gonna fight next?
Not for real, right? Think he getting there with Tyson? I heard he was supposed to be contemplating coming back to fight the winner out of the two.
I don't even think Tyson Fury can fight.
But that's what I'm saying. But do you see how they announce and talk shit? And then now if you report on that and then something changed, that don't make you wrong. I just think you reporting on boxing be like day to day. Get what I'm saying? Shit just changed so frequently. It's like, that's why it's like I learned when you about to do a video on something, most things, like it's best that you do it right when you think about doing it, because you give it a day, that information might be something different now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that shit crazy with boxing. Shit changed so frequently that, you know, I be seeing people think, you know, arguing a lot about people being wrong, and I don't think motherfuckers be wrong. I just think boxing changed so fast.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to box. I don't think he's going to be able to fight, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because if the United States banned his daggone flight to the United States because of his ties with Daniel Cunningham, I I think the UK is going to be right behind him and banning him from fighting.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. Either way, he put himself in trouble, man. He put himself in a tight situation, and I heard he got denied a second time for trying to board another U.S. flight.
Right?
I heard, didn't he give his license up in the UK?
No.
Could have swore he got his license. Could have swore the dude gave his license up.
He did.
That's what I'm like, yo. So where is he really going to fight? You know what I'm saying?
He got his license. That's where he had the Dillian White fight in the UK. That's how he got over there, because he went to fight Dillian White in the UK. So he got his license back to fight. But y'all got to remember, this whole Daniel Cunningham situation started from the UK.
Mm-hmm.
They started this whole thing.
Me. Yeah, man. That shit real, man. It's crazy, all that shit you heard with the trafficking and just all of the fixing of the fights. They was supposed to have a hand in Josh Taylor's career. You know, the Deontay Wilder fights, they were supposed to have a hand in that. I think some advisory shit with Terrence Crawford. There's some messy shit going on with them, man. All that shit ain't rumors. That's all I'm saying. So now all that shit that people were saying, Wilder's talking, that he don't look too crazy. I'm gonna keep saying it. Champ ain't looking too crazy now, is he? All that shit he was saying, I'm like, yo, because I don't know, people pay attention. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's okay to be entertained by what you watching. It's entertainment, but I listen and learn too, and I really be paying attention like that. I remember you speaking about the steroids and shit. Like, yo, you think I don't know who own it? Like, he was like, yo, I know. Like, and I know he do. I know he wasn't just talking crazy. Like, they just thinking he ranting and raving, man. I don't think so, man. I think, you know, as fighters, man, they just privy to certain information. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think I think it's more, you know, boxing is supposed to be like a brotherhood. I don't see him going to air nobody out if he knows something. You get what I'm saying? I don't see him doing that. It's just like, fuck it. The truth will come to light, but he kind of spoke on it. So motherfuckers be juice. Heavyweight. Cheat. Like, man, that shit crazy. I'm big to be you know, juicing and shit. Okay. Shout out to them 5 new subs. I don't know where y'all came from, but salute to y'all.
Y'all got to remember, motherfucking Deontay Wilder, they get information that we don't get.
That's why I like listening. I like to listen twice as much as I talk, especially when it's about something that I have limited knowledge on, and it's somebody in the room or on the panel that know. It's nothing wrong with not knowing and going to find that information, but it is something wrong with thinking you know it all. You know what I'm saying? And trying to question everybody, and you don't even do your own research.
Right.
You're crazy, man. You think Bam could scratch a pound for pound list after this win, considering his last 2 wins?
Yeah.
I don't think nobody crazy for having him on their list right now at all. That dude fought back-to-back challenges that he ain't have to accept or take. He did good and won, and did even better. He fought a perfect fight last night. That shit was special, man. That dude really put on last night. 22 years old, man. Got the world at his feet right now, man. He focused too. We want to talk about angles and shit. Yeah, his angles and shit like that, man. Man, that dude, he was doing that shit that he did to Quadras, like, you know, taking that step around and catching dude. I'm like, yo, he really nice with this shit. His footwork is complete. He really know how to move his feet. His defense was on point. Everything.
That's what I was saying about. I was saying about him when I was on T show earlier today. He moved from what I've seen in his last 2 fights. Because I saw the fight when he won the title, and then I saw the fight last night. it solidified his position where I just put him at. I put him number 10 on my pound for pound.
Yeah, you know it's crazy. That's what I said. I don't think it's crazy if you crack the top 10 pound for pound. I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah, he solidified my pound for pound because people say, "Oh, that's too early to put him on there." How's that too early? He got 16 fights. He got 11 knockouts. He has a title. Well, according to the people that goes by accolades, he has a title. But I don't count the title. I count the people that he fought.
Exactly.
And his last two fighters that he fought were two. One was a champion and one was a former champion who was ranked high on the pound for pound at one point in time in his career. He was like, I believe they said he was ranked number one out of all of the lightweights on the pound for pound. He was the number one ranked fighter.
Yeah, Quadras was ranked. That motherfucker fought a lot of people too. Look how much more experience his last two opponents had than him. Look at the records of the last two combined.
But even so, I said I got him at my number 10 pound for pound, and people were like, "Oh, that's too early." They had Lomachenko on the pound for pound as number 3 with only 10 fights in.
Mm-hmm.
Only 10 fights in, he was ranked number 3 pound for pound.
Yeah, his last two opponents got a combined record of 89 wins, 9 losses, and 2 draws. 89 fucking wins, and we talking about a dude with less than 20 fucking fights.
And that's
that
what
shit
I'm
is
talking about.
Ridiculous, man. Like that shit is ridiculous.
I'm just going off of what I've seen in his last 2 fights. I didn't watch him early in his career. I heard about him and I watched the fight when he won the title, and I was like, okay, this nigga, he can box. He got some nice movement or whatever. He can box. And then when I saw him in with the guy last night, I was like, oh, this man is for real. That wasn't no one-time fight fluke or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This man is for real.
Mm-hmm. Got an undefeated.
I don't say.
Yeah, man. He beat some ass.
Guess who he bumped off the top 10 pound for pound?
Who that? Crawford.
Bud Crawford.
Crawford. People be losing their mind when they see Crawford on the list, yo. They lose their fucking mind, yo.
He bumped Bud Crawford off.
Yeah. They lose their mind.
I can't believe. See, and that's the thing. Everybody goes by what Bud did at 140, because if we're talking about how Bud look right now, he's not doing none of that stuff he did at 140. Yeah, at 140, yeah, he was high on the pound for pound list because he was a switch hitter. He gave you different angles. He gave you good footwork. He's not doing that now. He's not doing that now. He's pretty much standing right there in front of you.
Yeah. People just gotta open their eyes a little bit more and pay attention to what's actually playing out and understand. Like, call it how it actually is, not how you want it to be. Call it how you really seeing it. Like, I mean, some of these people just can't do that. Can't keep it real with themselves.
People be like, "Oh, Dwayne, you just don't like Bud Crawford." Do y'all know who I took off my list? You talking about I don't like Bud Crawford? I moved Mr. Gary Russell off my list. He's number 11. Mr. Gary Russell is number 11 on my list. I moved him off the list, and I put
I don't know why people.
Arthur Beterbiev. I put Arthur Beterbiev in it. He's the reason why Mr. Gary Russell is not on my list, because I put Arthur Beterbiev in there, and then I put Bam Rodriguez on my list. That's the reason why Terrence is not on my list.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bias. It's what I see. I'm going by what I see. And although Mr. Gary Russell has a dominant skill set, I have to factor in that he got 2 losses. He got 2 losses.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that's on my pound for pound right now, there's only one person with a loss, and that's Jermell Charlo. But he revenged that loss, so that's why he's on my pound for pound. He revenged that loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody else on my pound for pound has a loss. They're all undefeated fighters except for Jamel.
I can't believe they try to not have him and Haney on the list. I think that's such a poor representation of the sport, man. It's a disservice to the sport too, to the fighters, the fans, everybody. Like that motherfucker's disrespectful, man. Y'all so much in denial, y'all refuse to call it how it is because y'all want it to be a certain way. Them two dudes gotta be on the list because of what they achieved, man. And y'all don't know how you could see it any differently, man. Shit change all the time. Just give them their credit now while they deserve it. Already got that man with back-to-back mandatories. That's crazy how they did it. Like basically 2 days after he win, or 3, whatever it was, they issued a mandatory. 10 days into that mandatory, which would have left 20 days left, they issued another one saying that one he initially signed off already to fight this dude and not Tim Tszyu, saying he got to fight the other dude first and not Tim Tszyu or risk being stripped. I'm like, yo, if that ain't the craziest shit, yo.
Right.
They laid on
Canelo won his undisputed. Canelo won his undisputed title almost a year ago, and he hasn't fought no mandatories yet.
No mandatory obligation whatsoever, yo. That shit is crazy.
And he won his undisputed title almost a year ago.
And no mandatory obligation, and then yet and still, he allowed him to pick another fighter to fight, somebody that he already fought because he went and got beat up by a fighter nobody asked him to fight in the first place. I said he was going to do one or two things: either start giving us the fights we want, or bitch up and think because he lost he could give us a bullshit fight. And I think I don't want to, so much call it a bullshit fight, but it's definitely one that we didn't ask for. Is what I am saying.
Yeah, that's why I said. That's why I said when I was doing my pound for pound, I was sitting there looking. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be biased because I could say, oh no, Gary Russell stay on the list because that loss to Masayo, he didn't really lose that fight, and the loss to Loma, he didn't really lose that fight. They didn't count the knockdown. He didn't really lose the fight. But I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna keep it 100%, and I'm not gonna be biased to no fighter, regardless if they family or not. I'm not being biased to nobody, and I'm gonna call it straight down the line. If I never know none of these motherfuckers, and I just watch them fight, I'm gonna call it straight down the line. Yeah, Gary Russell has better boxing ability than a lot of the fighters that's on the pound for pound. But like I said, I got to factor in the fact that he has 2 losses, and neither one of them he has revenge. Now, if he would have revenged those losses, then I could put him in the pound for pound, like I did with Jamel. If Jamel would have never revenged his loss, he probably wouldn't be in my pound for pound. But he revenged that loss.
And then he probably wouldn't even be undisputed. So, yeah, I make perfect sense. Yeah. Try to be as fair as you could be, but at the end of the day, people still got to keep in mind. It's somebody's list. You can try to argue. I just don't see the point of arguing. I try to understand. Like, you see how you say it and why? That's where I'm at with it. And I just leave it there. I disagree with D3. Well, how do you have Bud Carter? Like, bro, it's because it's his list first and foremost. Like, you asking a dumb question. He trying to motherfuckers be explaining to you why they got shit the way they got it. Or if you got it different, that's cool. Just say that.
But like I said, I don't have no problem explaining my list because when I explain my list, it ain't really too much argument you can have with it. You can say, oh, I believe this person should be higher than that person. Yeah, you can say that, but I feel that this skill set is better. If they were the same way, I feel his skill set is better. The same way why I got Tank Davis ranked number 3 over Shakur Stevenson. I believe both of their boxing ability is about the same, although we see more of Shakur Stevenson boxing ability because Tank doesn't use his as much, but he can box. His boxing skills is underrated. But the one thing that Tank has that Shakur don't have is that one-punch knockout power. That's why I have him above Shakur Stevenson. If Tank Davis didn't have that one-punch knockout power, I probably would have Shakur Stevenson above Tank Davis because of the quality of opponents that Shakur Stevenson fought. the last couple of years.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm telling you, people, I think getting tricked by that Rolly performance, man. I'm telling you, that's why I say, like, you're gonna just watch a fight just to nitpick or just to be negative, you're not gonna see the shit the right way. Just watch it. Don't just watch the shit and just pay attention. Like, for that dude to approach that fight and fight it the way he did, knowing the risk that was in front of him, I think that just shows his IQ. He realized very early, oh, this dude's strong for real, and he big as shit. I can't afford to be trying to mix it up early with this dude and let him hit me when I could make him box, and he can't do that. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, that shows pedigree and IQ. What don't y'all get? He understood it early, and then, like I keep saying, hearing after the fact that this man weighed 165 pounds in the ring, that's 3 fucking pounds away from super middleweight. That's bogus. That nigga damn near was fighting a super middleweight in there. Like, y'all crazy. I would have fought him that way too. Smart.
Right. And
anything you hit me with,
and everybody keeps saying, oh, that was Rolly, But y'all got to remember, Tank Davis was annoyed that he had to fight Rolly. He didn't want to fight Rolly. That wasn't a fight that he picked.
He tweeting and all type of shit.
You're going to knock this man because they forced him to fight Rolly. He didn't want to fight Rolly.
And then they had the nerve to mandate it after it got canceled initially. So he really ain't have a choice. So it's like, damn. So he was like, man, tweeting and everything. Yo, they really want me to fight this clown. To the point where Rolly was getting confidence, thinking he just wanted to pull out because he was scared. No, he really just didn't want to fight your goofy ass. And then he got in there and did what he had to do.
I was going back and forth with Alex earlier about that Rolly fight because he said he had Rolly winning that fight. I was like, hell no. I said, Rolly didn't win one of those rounds. You might could have gave Rolly one round, maybe.
Yeah, I think
Rolly was not winning that fight.
When they don't see,
show that Rolly wasn't winning the fight.
When certain fighters is like when people don't see what they're normally used to seeing right away from them, and they cancel out the fact that Tank. No, he said it himself. He could be a slow starter. He gonna warm up, figure you out, and he gonna start touching you. He take his time. Like y'all don't see a typical Tank performance, so automatically y'all translate that as he's losing these rounds. Like, nah, bro, they just a lot more subtle. Like it ain't as dominant as what some of these rounds been in his career, but he ain't getting much done to him either. So it's like as much as y'all want to keep giving Rolly credit, he ain't doing shit.
And that's another thing that man Alex was going. He was like, "How you got Tank over Shakur?" I think Shakur, he might have lost like one round. He don't usually lose rounds like that. I'd have seen Tank Davis lose rounds before. I say, well, you gotta understand what you're saying when you watch Tank Davis. Because when Tank Davis will box you, once he know that you can't hurt him, he's walking straight to you. Once he realizes you cannot hurt him, he's walking straight to you. So he'll take a couple of shots here and there because he know you can't hurt him. So it might look like he's losing a round. No, he's setting your ass up. He set you up to land a big shot. He was like, well, he didn't walk towards Rolly. No, Rolly walked into a shot. He didn't have to walk to Rolly. Rolly walked into a shot.
Yeah.
He set Rolly up to walk into a shot. He sat on the damn rope, and Rolly came in, and he caught him with the shot and dipped out the way, and Rolly was out.
Yeah. All it took is one good one. Planted right, picture perfect, and got his ass out of there.
Right, and that wasn't even a big shot. He just caught him right on the button. He said it. I wasn't trying to knock him out. When I saw he fell, I was like, damn. I wasn't trying to knock him out with the shot. He was going to come back with a right hook, but Rolly was already going down.
Yeah.
He caught him with a left, and he was about to come with a right hook, but Rolly was already going down.
Yep. Man,
y'all got to sit there and see, because you could see Tank Davis he'll box the first couple of rounds. Once he realizes you can't hurt him, he's gonna just walk straight to you. He's gonna put the high guard up and walk to you.
Yeah. And then from there, once he start to be able to touch you often enough, you cancel Christmas after that. It's the beginning of the end. That's how I seen it when he was fighting Pitbull. That's why I said a lot of y'all be these last two Tank performances got y'all fooled as to what caliber of fighter that he really is, because y'all see people have this mini success that you feel like fighters have because it's a fight. He got 2 arms and 2 fists too, bro. He fighting back too. So it's like they see people have a little success on certain fighters, they automatically equate that to them losing rounds. Like, nah, man, the motherfucker can't get hit, bro. Damn. Like, you get what I'm saying? He gonna get hit too. Like, the fuck, this nigga actually trying on the other side of him. Right. That should be blowing me. Like, man.
The thing that gets me, they act like Pitbull is a bum. I'm like, you act like Pitbull is a bum and can't punch. Not only can Pitbull fight, but he can punch. He has a 60% knockout ratio. He can punch.
Got heart. You know what I'm saying? Got heart rate with it. So he actually come to fight. That's another thing. That's why I keep saying to people, y'all gotta realize the position you be in with Tank. Like, you might want to assume that because he punched that people just gonna be scared. Nah, the position he in when you at the top, people be gunning for you. So when they get the opportunity, you be probably getting the best version of that person possible each time out. So that don't make the fights no easier for you. That make them harder. Rolly was really trying in there. That's half of the fight. Like, how many fighters you see getting there and look like shit and they not even really trying? Like Ronnie Rios, he wasn't really trying that hard. He accepted getting beat up round after round. It seemed like as long as he wasn't getting knocked out silly, he was cool with just losing round after round. To dude just stepped on the gas and got him up out of there. That's what I'm saying. With Tank, motherfuckers is trying to win. They want to beat that dude. They want to beat him.
Right. Perfect case scenario. Sean Porter versus Earl Spence. Sean Porter told everybody he trained his hardest, that he was trying to beat Earl Spence. After that Earl Spence fight, he wanted to retire. So he wasn't training that hard no more. He wasn't coming in there and had the hunger that he had when he was about to fight Earl Spence. When we saw him in there with Danny Garcia, when we saw him in there with Keith Thurman and Earl Spence, he had that hunger. He wanted to fight. After that, he didn't have that hunger no more.
Nope.
That's why we saw him box against Ugas. We ain't never seen Sean Porter box. It wasn't the same Sean Porter no more.
Nope. And I said that was blowing me. I kept saying that. I'm like, I get everybody ain't EJ, but damn, why are you trying to box like all of a sudden? Like, I get it. Like, I ain't saying you can't box and mix it up, but bro, that's not the Porter way. Like, bro, you bring this shit and you sitting back trying to box a dude that's counter punching the shit out you. It's like, yo, this shit is crazy, yeah. That's why I said, man, Sean Porter, asshole for that. And they don't really pay attention. And I think Earl Spence really, them ass whoopings be changing the fighters. At least that's what it seemed like. Motherfuckers be a little bit different after it's over.
Yep.
Taking a year off and shit. Like, I'm telling you, all of them. That Cal Brook had to take time off. Danny take time off. Mikey take time off. Sean Porter took time off. Ugas obviously gonna have to take time off. Like, motherfucker, a little bit different. Them ass whoopings be hitting different. That's why when he was fighting Kell Brook, he was like, man, if he make it to 12 rounds, man, he tough as hell. I remember him saying that. He tough as hell. Now, I knew what he meant, because with the intensity that he was bringing, once he got warmed up in that Kell Brook fight, I'm like, yo, he about to break this dude will. And he really ended up breaking his eye first and just stopping. I'm like, man, Earl Spence is a determined motherfucker, man. And I don't see Bud. Do y'all people really think Bud Crawford hit harder than that version of Kell Brook? I don't think so. That's something I never really heard people say. Do people really think that, Bud Crawford is a much harder puncher than that version of Kell Brook that Earl Spence fought? I just don't think so. I think he got different kind of power, but I wouldn't go out on a limb and say he hit so much harder than Kell Brook. Kell Brook, pretty big dude, man. Already fought at 60, 52, 54, whatever he fought at before. So, I don't know, man. It's just something to think about.
The thing is with Terrence Crawford, he don't have one punch knockout power. He has accumulation of punches. Same thing with Earl Spence. He don't have one punch knockout power. He has accumulation of
he
punches.
will drop you with one
And
punch, but like, because I believe he's a good counter
he can
puncher.
drop you, but it's not a
catching you off guard and knocking you down because of it. Like, that's what he did to Porter. He took advantage of his mistakes, him being all balanced, and caught him with the right kind of shot, because he's good at picking those single shots and rocking you with them. Like, but he's not gonna knock you out with that, but he'll sit you down and shit, or land a good few shots and sit you down. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's more of an accumulation for sure. And I'm just like, you gotta think it's gonna be a fight. He don't just hit people one time and all of a sudden it's just they don't want to fight. He don't have that type of power. He don't have concussive power. He don't have that. Just stop. He don't have that. So, and it's okay, because Earl don't have that either, but he don't need it, because whatever he lacking power, if that's even what y'all want to say, he gonna make up for it in work rate and activity and just working and grinding you down until you don't want no more. You make it to 12 rounds, then cool, shit. But you gonna take some punishment.
Oh, he wears on you and make your body just give up.
Mm-hmm. That's what happened with Ugas. His body was giving out. Fuck with his mental. He was still wanting to fight. But his eye was like, motherfucker, I got hit with one jab and uppercut too many. That's it, bro. That is it. And you know that had to be it was a good stoppage, because I think anything more, I think the damage could have been even worse. Like, you got to think, they stopped it when they did, and he still had his eye bleed for like 40 hours. That's ridiculous, yo. That shit ain't no way that's good.
He could have possibly lost his eye.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, man,
if that fight would have went the distance, he probably would have lost his eye.
Mm-hmm.
That probably would have been the last time we saw Ugas fight.
What's the names that had the trilogy back in the day? Rafael Marquez and Israel Vasquez. I think Vasquez lost vision in one of his eyes now after them wars and shit. I think his shit.
Oh, did y'all hear this? What's face is trying to come back to fight Tank Davis?
Who that?
The nigga that had the torn retina.
Oh, Abner Mares.
Yeah, Abner Mares.
That boy's gonna
he's trying to come back to fight Tank Davis.
I just hope that's not the case, because that's gonna be like disappointing. I don't want to really see it. Like, he sat out too long. It was a point where I really wanted to see that, because I knew Tank was gonna smoke his ass.
He's supposed to be having a fight. He's supposed to be having a fight, and then after that fight, he's trying to fight Tank Davis.
Yeah, I know he gonna get broke, because how he like to fight, he only fight one way, coming forward, trying to swarm you with punches, and he gonna be right there in the danger zone, right in the fire, and he gonna get hurt. He gonna get his eyes. His eyes still look funny. That's why he always got on them shades. This shit still look funny. That torn retina, I thought it ended his career.
He probably like, if Earl Spence could come back, then fuck it, I can come back too.
Yeah, for real, Spence probably motivated him. That'd be dope if he found some motivation in that to try to come back. Because I always thought he could come back. I thought he was going to come back. But then when I kept seeing it, years go by, I'm like, yo, this dude ain't going to fight no more. He done. It's like the retina really did it, huh? And then now you hear, yeah, I did hear that once. I forgot who mentioned it, but hey, best of luck to you. I just hope Tank get people the right fights, because if not, they're going to be on his ass, man. He got to know that. Like, don't nobody want to see nothing less than something on your level. Like, we don't want to see no more mismatches, bro. Just don't want to see it. He going to keep getting criticized, especially being with who he with. That's if you stayed there. I heard something about a lawsuit that somebody got revealing the fact that Tank Davis officially had signed back. It was some shit going on. So I know Oscar better stop talking about deals that he got for him for the threatened legal action on his goofy ass. Go and make that Ryan Garcia fight. Just go ahead and make it and stop playing with the people, because that's a hell of a fight to make just because he's more popular than anything. You know what I mean? Than he is good, but I think the fight will do well in numbers. You know what I mean? And I think Tank will spark his ass and keep it moving. If you're going to keep calling for him, I say get your ass in there. Yeah, I hope Cool Boy get Akhmadaliev next. I really do. I want to see what's next for Bam, because he a fucking beast. It's BS. Oh, you said it's BS, Crush. What's that? That Abnormal ass shit? It's gonna be BS if he get his eye knocked further out of commission. That dude crazy. I don't know why they be barking up that tank tree. I think that should be about the money, man. Fuck it. They ain't got shit to lose. They feel like they lose, they got knocked out by Tank. If they win, they beat the undefeated Gervonta Davis, and they got it bad. Shit, that risk worth the reward. That's why I say, oh, the lawsuit is bullshit. Oh, okay. Cool. Not saying Tank got one. I forget someone. Was it Eddie Hearn? Somebody was supposed to have had a lawsuit with somebody. But shit, you know how these dudes be some lying motherfuckers. They like politicians, boy. All these motherfuckers do is lie.
Right.
Lie to the people and confuse.
Just like Logan Paul kept saying he Roy owed him $5 million. Floyd was like, man, that man got paid. I don't own shit. Yeah,
people weird, right? They like, yo, what the hell? Shit, I seen something more recently, because you see Jake Paul call himself betting, he's saying he willing to bet $1 million or whatever, talking like he'd bet whatever, more than that, calling $1 million chump change. But I seen some headlines with his brother, Logan, saying Jake broke because he invested his money into crypto and something happened, some shit. So I'll be like, you hear a lot of weird ass stories and you'll keep seeing them shits being repeated. Like, I just don't care as much to look into it, but I have seen it. And I'm like, I will hope that's not the case because them two Paul brothers is caked up. Motherfuckers got money. Got their social media following. Everything they do, the odds is on them dudes.
Yep.
Oh, no, man, we had a good night. It was a good night of boxing, I think, man. McCaskill beat some ass. I would like to see what's next for her, man. She made short work of that chick. I thought that was gonna be a decision, man. She had other plans. Swear it seemed like she just found out that she got cheated on right before the bell started, right before the opening bell. Like, yeah, just to let you know, your boyfriend's cheating. Hell yeah. Went out there, took it out on old girl, punched on her ass. I like to see where she go from here. Raymond Ford is up for him too from here. He nice. Rungvisai got his ass beat. And fucking Jesse Band, man. Let's see if they willing to try to give him the Chocolatito fight. At this point, they might as well. Because I truly, man, ain't even I know he'd beat Chocolatito. I know it. I ain't even nothing to think about for me. And I think he might stop him. Yep. Yeah. Got this styles, man. Y'all can't that dude, the way he under control and he's skilled like that throwing that whole bunch of punches shit ain't gonna work with him. You gonna get fucked up. You gonna pick you apart. His footwork good as hell too. Chocolatito already got old, so I love to see it though. Hopefully they give him that fight before Chocolatito retire.
I think Chocolatito got probably maybe 1 or 2 more fights left in him. It depends on how he look in those fights. Mm-hmm. If he look like Father Time caught up to him, I don't see him fighting too much longer.
I'm telling you, that Father Time should be real. That should be on these motherfuckers' asses. Gonna see though. Damn sure gonna see, but hopefully he get it and he get the fight he want. Hopefully we see Cool Boy and MJ next. McCaskill could pretty much do what she want too. Let's see what they throw Ray Ford in there with next. Southpaw.
I dropped a short video with MJ knocking out Rios to the body. Man, within 15 minutes, that bitch had 2,000 views.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling them shorts be hitting different. Cause I had posted
but you gotta hear the song that I played with that joint. That shit funny as hell. I put on the Luke and the 2 Live crew work that body.
Yeah. Oh shit. Them shorts be hitting different, bro. Them shits be hitting different. Yeah, the last short I posted got 2.3. I just went, remember the nigga Juan Ma hooked off on the trainer after the fight? Him and the trainer started banging out. It was going at it.
Yeah.
I had to post that. I got some more little clips in the stash. I know we'll be doing good knockouts, nice little knockouts and shit.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. All my short videos been all like knockouts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I think we all kind of caught on to that short wave because I was looking at shit and it was like, look, man, post shorts. They was saying don't post one, like don't be hesitant to post multiple a day type deal. Like post them bitches.
Yep.
Add little shit to them and remix them and shit like that. And them shits make it cool to, you know what I mean? That's what I've been doing. And that shit, so far, I ain't have no issues. None. I got way more actual content than shorts, so that's good. But some people do whole shorts channels. Just all shorts. Whole fucking channel of shorts. That shit, it's people engage easier to it because it's all short time span of 30 seconds to a minute type shit. Motherfuckers used to doing everything. You do motherfucker cook a whole meal in a minute. Like, you know what I mean? Speeding the video up type shit. So people just used to that microwave type society. Hit 1 minute on the mic. You know what I mean? Get all this shit in 1 minute. People don't have the patience nowadays sometimes to sit down and listen to some shit. Yeah, man, we gonna get some good fucking fights. Yeah, my shorts feed views is crazy. Them shits be going by 1,000. Oh shit, it's been a good live, man. I had 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Appreciate you, my bro. I'm gonna let you get on up out of here. You said what?
I thought you was off because I had went to go do something. I thought you was off. I came back on. You was still on. I was like, shit, let me jump up here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Shit, I had to stay on for a little minute today. I'm trying to see it's something else I might want to do. I don't know because I've done more than one live in a day too. I wanted to do this one a little earlier. Shit, I still got time if I want to talk about this other shit I was looking at.
Yeah.
You already know I appreciate you coming through. Appreciate y'all in couple in the building still.
You already know.
Shit, I'm gonna let y'all get back to enjoying the rest of y'all day. Appreciate everybody coming through.
G5,
my bro. You know I'll be back with another one. Shit, tomorrow we got the cleanup, so you know I'll be there in the morning for that.
Yep. All right, man.
You already know, my boy. To the next one, my people. I'm gonna let y'all get up out of here. Appreciate everybody that came through. My bros, TWT, my bro Crush, my bro LeBron James, aka Core. See y'all in the next one. Peace.